Ooh, it starts off well.
Or are they? Celery? Another blink strikes available.
Oh, you're right. Back in on top of the Rubik. Tricks of the trade and the final touch. There it is. Whisper with another kill, chaining away from Duraccio. And Whisper's the one with all the stacks on him, so Matthew will take a fair number of hits to kill him.
Yeah, he has
like Ursa can.
7 Furious Swipe charges.
Got Quinn down in the bottom rune spot. 3 seconds to go, and C-Smile deciding he wants to fight around this, forcing Tofu away. The Fortune's End is there, and in we go.
They took the rune away from Quinn, but in terms of first Exo, there's not going to be any damage dealt to a tower.
Whisper stuck behind this tier 1 top. Might be in a bit of trouble now. Yeah, getting ripped to shreds by the end.
Necessary to get Lasso going. If he's going to be farming the jungle, we'll put the next point in Firefly.
Attempting on Panda. Good damage from the Encha, and Tofu's Tiny secures the kill. A.K.A still level 5, trying to get the bashes onto Ace. C-Smile rotates. They'll look for this Enchantress kill in the tree. Yeah, Matthew lassoed up. Batrider the Chrono in the Firefly still, focusing the Tiny. And Quinn, full HP with Duracio's help. Will get on top of A.K.A with some Fury Swipes and the Overpower, but C-Smile tracking back to bully this Ursa. He doesn't have much left in the tank. Fortune's End flies out to try and...
Batrider is countered. He was supposed to be Chrono.
Yeah, straight on the edge. A.K.A needs the backup from DP and Timbersaw, but it's still a difficult target to bring down. The Avalanche looks good, but Ace still going to fall. Now A.K.A moves on the Tiny. Tofu in trouble. And Game Gladiator is going to cut their losses. Try and get Quinn out of danger. Cancel TPs down to bottom. And move away from here, but Whisper wants to keep on diving. Fuel Scepter up, C-Smile catches. Whisper held down by the Death Prophet, and they'll dive behind this tier 2 tower. Yeah, smoke breaks, Panda knows. Spot the Tiny in the trees. Plant him up. Catch him out. E.G. bring Mage Slayer is next from Ace. He's dived under his tier 1. Matthew spotted him. Timbersaw on top of the edge, but the Nature's Attendant, tons of heal, and there's the Sproink, the Rainbow Impetus shot, launching out onto Matthew, nearly killing Ricky, but he gets off the tricks of the trade, while C-Smile in behind this tier 1. Diving Ace, the Chrono comes, Tofu and Ace both caught inside, and Whisper with a Chakra will finish it off yet another kill. Tofu down, and C-Smile is unstoppable. No Exo.
No smoke, no Chrono, no Exo.
We're going to play forward, sleep up the Batrider, but Matthew's the one to get blown up by Duraccio. Does have to use the Enrage to get behind his tower. Quinn wants back in though. C-Smile saves
that's big.
The false promise. Effectless Void could get caught off through the control. Matthew going to start things off with a Sleeping Dart though. Straight onto Quinn and forcing his BKB early on. Half health for Batrider while C-Smile. Avalanche for now. Holding his BKB in the Yules. Now has to use it, but the Ursa's damage substantial against the DP, and EG are the ones who have to run. Pretty nice against all these spellcasters. Trying to catch out Whisper top lane. Lasso is there, and the down from Duraccio trying to kill him off, but a Timber Chain and the arrival of C-Smile slows things down. Wanted to chase Duraccio, and Whisper getting some revenge, but Game Gladiators, they are all here. Avalanche toss, Whisper about to die. The False Promise is there, and Panda keeps him alive. A killing spree for him as they dive in. C-Smile falls, but Duraccio dead.
Oh, look at this damage from
Impetus sprites them all to death.
Have another one.
Radiant scanning off to the right, that turns red as well, so everybody knows the direction the opponents are coming from. Ricky starts with a Sleeping Dart, the jump in from A.K.A, no Chrono yet. Tofu trying the Avalanche
so low.
Ricky being focused down as Duraccio and Quinn straight onto him. Tofu and Matthew trading lives, and Quinn just trying to chase up here, but C-Smile keeping them at bay while Duraccio trapped in between 3 of EG, down to half health. They've got the bit of save and a buying time from the Yule. KP looking to jump back in, the Avalanche again, but there's a false promise from the Oracle. Aegis already claimed up as Duraccio blinking back to his side of the map, and the 2-man Chrono there, catching both supports. Quinn and Ace still on the outskirts though, doing an awful lot of damage here, and A.K.A is struggling to stick on a target. Celery with the Spirit Siphons, trying to roleplay as Boxy, but can't quite get the job done. And now Ace trapped in place. Quinn and Duraccio on this high ground, not able to rejoin the fight. EG will come out victorious.
Finished on Whisper, so double Chakram.
Poor Panda. False Promise. Not going to help him out too much here.
Under attack.
Drag back into the flames of Quinn. EG looking to press into this enemy ancient spot where they do have high ground vision. Straight up Chrono, catch Rubik and the Edge. They need the damage onto Ace as quickly as possible, and Whisper will provide that. Blow up the Enchantress. She gets off a strike. The next attendant's not going to heal her while Duracho jumps on the Picard. DKB ample promise required to buy the time he needs. Time walks a little bit off, and now the Ursa kind of stuck here. Lift up, drag back, not saving you from Whisper's reinitiation. Very attentive EG, focusing the targets they need, and diving this tier 2 for the Rubik kill. The cherry on top.
Shard upgrade. Didn't even use the oh my god, he has a Force Staff and Ogre Seal Totem as well. With the shard, one time walk.
So much mobility.
The gap. They caught him.
Yeah, lassoed up, but the U-rules make sure that the Ursa can't do the damage, and Picard saved by his team, allowed to chrono this Ursa. Now Ench arriving and a stolen one. There's the Rubik coming in clutch. Everyone from EG stuck inside. Duracho still dies. Timber chain across, looking for Tofu now. Matthew trying to jump back in onto this Enchantress, but the lift to save. Celery keeps them at bay, allows Ace to keep doing damage while Smile and Whisper chasing this Enchantress. Get the pesky Fawn out of here. Catch a glimpse of the Oracle, find out where Panda's playing. Matthew back to the high ground as Quinn BKBs and moves up the ramp. Focusing for Card, he's got time walk off to the right. The chrono looks like a good one. They've killed Panda off though. Oracle is down, so no safety net. Duracho getting blown up though. Has to buy back a stolen chrono. Two of them trapped inside from EG, but Duracho is about to die here. Quinn has already fallen, had to buy back himself. Whisper moving in. Celery stealing the timber chain. See Smile nearly dead. The Hurricane Pipe pushes him back, and Ace blows up the Death Prophet now. Pakaz getting tossed around near the roast pit, controlled up by the lift. Have they got the damage to finish him off? He time walks off to the left and Whisper is back in again. Chakram missing, the Force Staff out of Tofu, getting the distance he needs, and the stolen Chakram, Celery chucks it back at the Timber Saw. They saw Matthews taking this outpost. They've got the vision through the gen of Quinn. And plenty of damage to bring the Ricky down. The Yule Scepter on 20 HP, just delaying the inevitable, buying time. No way he survives here. Surely no way he survives here, right? He's got Blink Strike, but nothing to blink to. The end ball in the mid lane, Whisper getting gone on by Tofu and Duracho. EG, they know that multiple members of Gaming Gladiators pretty distant away.
I'm always sad that you can't break Tiny. It would be so funny if it just shrinks. Double Abyssal, Lotus Orb.
That's it back. Tofu's in though with the Avalanche toss.
EG's alone here.
Is bringing 4 members to kill off Whisper. C-Smile gonna go for the BKB TP. Duracho trying to close the gap to Tofu and Ace here.
Thinking about it.
Goes straight for the chrono. Exo as well. They really want to kill Ace here. Gaming Gladiators rallying around the Enchantress. He's got off the BKB and the attendants. Enchantress with some more strikes could actually play a way out of this one. Tofu going to survive. Dragged away from Pakaz. And now they've moved back in onto the Faceless Void. He's going to try and time walk it off thanks to the False Promise. But now Panda, the target of choice for Tofu and Celery, has the Fate's Edict on him, so protected against the magic damage, while Pakaz and Smile chasing Quinn now. The Bat Rider gets turned on. This fight is dragging out forever as another chrono from Pakaz. Straight onto the Tiny and Ursa. Ench slept up, so the damage is lacking, and EG, they've done it now. Holding their high ground, coming out to play into the southern jungle and finding the Enchantress. A Yule from Matthew finds a bonus target. Celery's Rubik trying to flicker away, but doesn't get any distance. So Whisper. The additional bonus from the Halberd on ranged heroes.
Enchantress getting very close to her level 25.
Blink initiation. Ursa gets lifted and forced out away. Ace gets the attendants out, points back, but Picard just keeps on chasing. Chrono's up the Enchantress now. Looking to blow up Ace. There is buyback available, and of course, H is in the hands of the Ursa still. DP caught inside that chrono along with Whisper, unable to keep giving chase. Trying to blink and timber chain across. Might be able to get a catch with the side device. What is that? Is that flamethrower stolen by Rubik? Gets up to the high ground, away we head. Lots of expenditure here from EG. Chrono, Exo, still wanting to find more with a Blink Lasso. Bat Rider.
That's another one.
Goes for the double lasso on the Faceless Void as Celery annihilated by Matthew and the Timber Saw in the back line. Comes with a double damage rune as well, and he walks straight into the middle of them. Lincoln's popped. He does get side. Ursa on him. The backup there from the Oracle. False Promise and a big chrono. Bat Rider caught up in it. Quinn being battered into the ground. Dead for 2 minutes. Ace might be found as well, but they're going to go for the back line. Rubik being destroyed by Picard's Faceless Void. Time walks back in, looks for Ace, reverses it, rewinds, backs away. As Tofu splits the fight, multiple directions. Picard and Whisper find Duracho under the smoke screen, can't do anything, caught up and killed.
they're constantly disarmed both of the cores of Gaming Gladiator. They cannot deal damage.
Duraccio finally gets to open up onto a target and he slept. He's hexed. Control for days on end. There's no end in sight. Just being blown up and controlled everywhere. Duraccio gets tossed across to the Oracle, but Panda, even as a disarm his own, gets the baiting down and the damage is down. Whisper with a double kill. Well, Ace
by Pathrider. This can't be correct. Like that's one stick in a palm and then maybe like some Firefly damage, and EGs wanna close this one out. There are no buybacks available. This is game, Gary.
Yeah, looks like it. They'll try and glyph. Maybe Ace can sproik his way to a base defense, but it looks like EG have got this one in the bag now. A very close fought game one, very tight battles, and it looked like Gaming Gladiators using their windows to perfection, but EG with these chronospheres, the late game protection of the false promise out of Oracle, and the itemization, hexing, darting, halberding, so much annoyance that Edge can't do a damn thing. She spends half the game in the sky.
Disarmed again.
Disarmed damage more, and GG is cold. EG take game one.
They disarmed the Enchantress. Back on Io. There's gonna be a lot of sustain in this.
Radiant's middle.
They want this first blood. They want Ace.
Go in on them with a rebound, catching profit. Damage from the TA and first blood grabbed by Pakaz. Come toward the top room spot and find a DD. Tofu faster with the fingers as Whisper has just solo killed Duraccio.
Oh no, I was watching this top rune.
And Matthew, yeah, fighting with Panda and C-Smile. Now he lands a stun, catches Tusk unaware.
What a disastrous spot. Like I'm not sure why you're even stuck
Whisper?
there.
Tofu on his own couldn't do too much. Maybe with Quinn arriving now. Out down with the tag team, plenty of damage. Disposed though, stops Quinn's movement forward. This is all while Pakaz continues to get free farm and even goes for the solo kill. Ace close to death and he gets finished off. C-Smile taking large camp stacks. Might get jumped on here with a snowball, but the swashbuckle misses. Walrus punch connects and the roll of thunder inside the shards gets them the kill. Now EG wanting to answer the aggression. Onslaught and trample, finding Tofu. Tusk is pulverized.
13 and a half minutes into the game.
Could be nasty. Whisper. He's in a 1v2 situation, going straight for Celery. Let's see if he can... no tether available for him. EG starting to swarm. 3 heroes heading down into that bottom jungle. Matthew is alone for now, and that Wrath of Nature. Every 2 minutes he's got a new item. Dragonlance, Deso's Blink. Rebound in from Matthew. Drag back Tofu. So his Blink will be a little delayed now as they go for yet another objective. Even trying to collapse on the enemy Ancient's high ground, looking for Celery. Finds his target. Ace. There we go with a stun connecting. Matthew's in. Control the Prophet. Got the trample damage. Snowball will delay the death of the Tusk here. Take a little while longer for them to kill him off, but eventually he will fall.
He wants to be able to pick that one up. Get a shard, most likely as his next item. Troll getting caught.
Yeah, they've got the snowball save. Let's see if EG can control up the troll, but handing, 300 gold over to the IO, in fact. That's Quinn. Trying to shield crash his way out of this. Whisper will still have the pulverizer. Melt strike, there it is. One hit kill. They come in with a troll, Celery, tethered up to Duraccio, focusing onto Matthew, killing off the Marcy, while Panda and Whisper holding the line. Pakaz wanting to run away from this, doesn't want to battle into Gaming Gladiators anymore. Thinks about it though, jumps forward and kills the troll. Waited and bided his time. Looks for Tofu now, a few more swipes out of this Deso. TA is going to find multiple kills. A mega kill for him so far, and he wants to go high ground for a double.
Your towers are going to die. Where's the follow-up?
It's not coming, is it? C-Smile with Whisper. They're on top of this IO, pulverizing Celery, looking to finish him off, and they'll get the job done. And now Quinn, he's got one shield crash, but the damage from Pakaz is just
not enough.
So big.
Sitting on 1,400 gold, level 17.
And they're going aggressive in the bottom jungle.
Aggressive mid. He's going to solo kill him.
Tofu dying in the mid lane, straight up to Pakaz. Gets a wicked 6 streak with Matthew in this bottom jungle, found by Duraccio and Celery. Now in comes Whisper though. Looking for the control on Duraccio with C-Smile chasing forward. Rock throw is there, connects on one of the heroes. Quinn gets stunned, and the split earth comes. C-Smile turned on, Illusionary drone popped, and he's got that protection into the ethereal form thanks to his Ghost Scepter. Force
running out in 7 seconds.
And now the battle trans with the roll thunder connecting. They're going to find C-Smile here. Kill off the ledge and get
They're going to time it correctly.
Going to find Picard. Aegis is gone. He's got BKB though. No mana to play with. They need Whisper to protect the Templar Assassin as quickly as they can. But the root is there, and Durachu with a double kill. Gaming Gladiators, they are destroying EG in this bottom jungle. And
like I was watching him, he did kill Tofu. Oh, they're still not done.
They want Whisper out. Come back here. Primal Beast, where you going? Matthew jumps off to the left. He's going to get finished off by the spirits and the hits from Ace, while the punch from Tofu gives him the old left-right.
That one gold. C-Smile needs to be careful. Ghost Scepter will keep him alive for a while.
Yeah, very careful against this troll. He wants Celery real bad. Forces the Mank early on. Whisper coming back in with a rock throw missing, sadly. Doratio, 7 seconds for Battle Trance and no BKB, so he'll die.
He is a range hero. This Lord is going to scout out Quinn.
Hello there, Pango. Global silence for him as well.
He knows. They will have to get it somewhere, so Gleipnir going to help out tremendously. C-Smile going for a solo.
Tofu has the snowball. Link on cooldown for a couple of seconds, and that damage spilling onto it, make sure there is no jump away. Whisper in the meanwhile, aiming bottom lane, connects the onslaught onto the troll, and walks it back. Looks like Quinn knows what's up. Goes back to his own Ancients, connects onto Matthew. Rolling Thunder, trying to get into the backlines as well. Whisper being found with a Walrus Punch there. The Global to give the coverage and a 4-staff away.
Miss uphill.
Gets Whisper away from danger, and you're right, Quinn surviving on 100 HP. Now Ace, the one in trouble though. The blink forward, the meld, the damage. Ace with the TP home survives while Quinn will die. Troll and Io still sticking around. The shard blocking in Picard. Does he have the protection for his team to dispose to buy him in a space and time? Picard's in the sprout now. Whisper comes across the trample. He's battering into Doratio, pulverizing the Io, and it looks like Gaming Gladiator's going to get blasted out of this triangle. Relocate into Whisper.
My favorite snack, Io coming back.
Who's getting the kill?
Of this Pango, even harder. AC that you mentioned coming out shortly. Needs a bit more time.
Oh, Quinn. Hello. Whisper's found him. I guess the trap gave a little bit of vision, so he throws the rocks at him. Dangerous territory for them to be walking up high ground.
Oh my god, almost gets one shot.
Oh god! He's not gonna die just yet, though. I don't know how much HP he left. Well, that was close. C-Smile has a 2-man splitter. In comes the snowball save. Tofu rolling forward onto the ledge. But now the pulverize blows up the tusk. Doratio battling forward up to Marcy. Celery's dead and Picard's cleaning up. A couple of swift kills for him. And the double buyback from Game Gladiators. They need to get on top of these core heroes, but they're struggling. With the tether, the trolls on the Primal Beast, but a slide away with a full staff, and in comes Picard again. So much raw damage, a double kill for C-Smile. Celery's going to relocate out of there.
That's 2 buybacks out of the map.
Well, if he can.
They might catch him, let's see.
There's the jump. Walrus Punch into the control, gets off his BKB though, and Whisper, he's back in, looking for Doratio. They've saved the cusp for now, 4-staff up to the high ground and kills off Celery. No buyback on the Io. Quinn trying to get there with a Rolling Thunder, but the Hex in control with the Pulverize there. Doratio's down. Buybacks available, but the rest of your team's being crushed. Whisper aiming for Ace, Panda not even dropping. And Ace is just going to have to turn around and fight mano a mano with Whisper, who tramples him down under the boot. And Doratio, the Deso hits are flying into you. A little worried about
chances, and they're still flying.
They're still coming. Oh my god, he's nearly dead.
This is it, Gary. There is no coming back from this one. Your barracks are gone. You're going to be playing against Mega Creeps. 50 seconds without Nature's Prophet. No buyback on him, and Celery will call it.
That's it. It's over. GG comes.
Doratio didn't even type anything. He used like space or something. Oh, it's out on my screen. It doesn't say.
That's a GG over here. The same thing in the lobby as well when they were asking the players to get ready.
Oh.
It's Cleavatar!
Foxy will be playing Snapfire and Zai. 1 gush, 1 curse. Should be the kill.
Yeah, Battery Assault is there. Schofield's able to wrap around on him. Now he absolutely has to know that ward is there. Still gonna lose.
They might de-ward it.
To make that additional lane. Schofield though. On top of Insignia again. Battery Assault and Gush is an awful amount of damage here. And Crystal Maiden just can't.
And then Clockwork with boots and 1 gush.
There's the kill.
Silence.
Dinger gets it. Down at bottom again. Tusk and Snapfire on top of K1. A snowball comes and he'll get the kill on the position 1. Nothing Stinger could do there to help his buddy. Might be dying himself, in fact.
Dark Mago got 2 CS in the last minute and a half. Very difficult.
Move again.
That's a move again.
Cookie into Scatter Blast. Boxy even going across to get the bouncer and down bottom. Even more gold flowing into Team Liquid, while Schofield nearly dead top. Zai does get the pick off on K1 bottom.
2 times. The one who has a lot of farm, like decent amount of farm, is Tidehunter with the Ring of Health. Ember Spirit's supposed to be that one guy. Never mind, holding that thought.
Yeah. It's a kill on Insania again, potentially. Under tower, Schofield goes.
This is like a guaranteed kill. He needs to have an HP, however. Brought the heal itself. Mid lane.
Nisha trying to protect it, gets it off to the right-hand side. Turns into
Resummons it.
Resummons, comes in, looks for the root. Dark Margo slipping away from danger, barely with his life. They'll move on to the clockwork instead. Nisha, 1v2 situation, finding a kill, trades out. They'll bring in a hero mid to bottle refill. Blightstone and the Gloves of Haste, in fact. Zai finding the pick off on Stinger, who, stuck around in that bottom lane. Not where he wants to be, while K1 has evacuated the area. Nisha getting gone on. Remnant forward and
that's
the
a difficult kill to get. There's Ravage
turned on. They've got the Ravage onto Nisha. Insania coming in, but can't save his life. Okay, wanting the trade out here, and there are no remnants left for the Ember Spirit. So even though they lose the lone druid, it's still a decent defense of that mid lane, and Ravage on cooldown means a big window for Liquid to exploit. They chase out Sacred with a cookie, lacking a bit of damage here. Mickey didn't follow through on this, so a turnaround on Insania should find him thanks to Stinger's silencer.
Wrath of Nature.
A couple of sneaky wards, we saw
Sacred
that.
bottom.
You alright?
Not really.
He's dead. The dive in mid. Nisha gets off the true form though. The bear is back up, a remnant away. Sleight of fist and safety for Dark Margo. Schofield, still level 4. The cookie on the bear puts him in place and holds him there with a root.
He did manage to recover. Bought Hand of Midas. Classic K1 move, snowball mid. Zai.
Yeah, punch out Dark Margo.
Yeah, skipping out Mask of Madness. I'm not really competent to talk about the item build.
And they've caught out K1 though. And again, they're situated 1 because Zai is lurking in the shadows, coming in from the river. Spots out Schofield, tag team punch, and the kiss is launched down by Boxy. Clears out the clockwork.
Underneath the ward.
Shots. Not gonna play out as intended.
No cookie.
And there's the hook shot, but Schofield needs to keep on chasing with the cover of the global. It's a little difficult still, and Liquid bringing numbers down here. The Ravage clips the Razor on the very edge. Boxy remnanted apart, but they've got sustain and they're also tanky. Dark Margo being punched skyward. Does he have safety remnants? He's just being chased down. He's on 1 HP. Dark Margo so close to death, but nobody to close the gap on him. The cogs up. The Zai Tusk finish him off while Dark Margo survives. Snowball buys all the time in the world for Zai, as the gush and the Arcane Curse will be just enough to finish him off. Stinger now being dived by the Nisha Bear and Mickey's Razor. Oh, will claim a lot of that farm on the opposing side of the map, while Dark Margo is making Liquid play for it. Stinger nearly blown up by Zai immediately, just the 1v1 there. Will kill him off in the end, claim up the spree while the freezing field from Insania. Kiss is launched in and Dark Margo is dead.
Left.
Mickey has the link on him while Zai and Insania fighting down south. And this fight is spread 3 different ways, but Liquid.
So much physical damage. You have
Stinger, he's gonna die. Caught up by the Razor Bear.
There we go.
Easy as you like. Well, Dark Margo has TP'd in here. 1 remnant at his disposal. Sacred trying to back him up. All they need is a slow from the plaza field, a route to catch him.
So slow.
He's incredibly slow. Remnant's leftwards. Nisha chasing forwards. K1 going to hold the line while Insania and Zai looking for Schofield, who doesn't catch a hookshot onto anything. Not maneuver himself away from the top jungle. So Zai just patiently biding his time, waiting for the cogs to wear out. Finish him off with a frostbite and a punch.
Now that's a BKB. Dark Margo getting in, has haste run.
Catches the chains on Zai. Gush in with Sacred. Chasing this Tusk. He's pretty damn tanky. He BKB's up. The Ravage is wasted. Completely whipped by Sacred. Dark Margo, chain disabled. Global might give him a bit of safety here. He's speedy on the Ember Spirit while Sacred's gone in far too deep. Surrounded by 4 members of Liquid. The Bear is back again. And Mickey hunting the Ember on the left-hand side while Sacred pops his greaves. He wants anything he can. Dark Margo's dead to Mickey and Sacred.
Gonna take him
pummeled
a
into the
while.
ground. not really required here. Feels like East Coast are playing into the hands of Liquid. Schofield, Savage Roar, and Nisha open. Yeah, we were wondering.
Schofield, he's looking for an angle. Let's see if someone decides to block it. Okay. Your carry is blocking Clockwork from getting in.
Well, he's the position too, right? Nisha's the real carry in this team, in this game. Schofield trying to cogs and Ember buying the tome for himself.
Yeah, you want to look good on the end game screen.
First BKB defensive, and the Walrus Punch pierces it. Straight forward they go, Liquid.
And then one punch from Tusk. Good one-shot people.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Margo, 70% of it.
They were so ready for this.
The Remnant, they absolutely were heroes in the first minute of the game when you're able to outplay every lane, hit your item timings, take down a tier 2, and move forward onto Stinger. Straight into the base. Zaya looking for the solo kill. Stinger down to low ground. Sacred, he's popped the greens already. And Nisha sprinting forward with his bear. The kisses are there. Savage Roar and Zai. Incredibly small now for Beast Coast. Yes, you've got a Nature's Prophet who can spread his wings and split push lanes. It's incredibly scary to do so. Sacred might have overstepped here. Good force down to get away from the shards. The snowball's deep from Zai. Forced to BKB. But with a Walrus Punch and the chase from...
With the snowball and just trying to buy time. But good Gleipnir usage. Keep this lone druid away.
Roxy maybe stuck around bottom a little too long. Yeah, no. Successfully so, away from Mickey, while in that right-hand jungle, Schofield. He's turned back onto Zai with the help of Stinger, shooting and cogging, finding another kill.
Mago. Their catch is pretty limited.
Unless they wait at a Remnant with the entanglement. Liquid, they're trying to find K1 up at 12. He's already put himself back in the fountain. Well, Boxy, catch up to Schofield. Zai tracks back.
TP. Misclick.
Slight misclick there, but they've got the snowball. Bit of global strat they've got with the Prophet and the Ember Spirit. Stinger though, jumps away from the bear. Kisses onto the Ghost Scepter, good magic damage, and an optimistic TP. Yeah, once we start getting levels up on this Nature's Prophet with the Sprout Talons, things can get real spooky. Schofield went to try and de-ward, but Zai and Boxy were there ready and waiting for him. The creeps. Looks like he'll still be able to get in on top of Stinger though. Ghost Scepter protect, just pushing bottom wave. I don't see anything. And then Zai, on top of the Prophet, holding the punch this time, like you said, waiting, biding his time. BK will run over himself now. K1 stands his ground.
Now.
Decent amount of physical damage with the global stars to cover. They're
Can't get close.
Trying to stop Dark Margo. They've got the root on him and the Ember Spirit die.
Play for area.
Ogre Seal Totem onto Sacred, has the tendrils of the deep. Even Mickey has made for a little bit. He's going to drain all this damage away from the tide. This isn't coming. I didn't think Sacred would die here, but it looks like Mickey and Boxy have enough damage to bring him down, and the dive continues. Mickey just keeps on going. Stinger has to go Scepter. Now Mickey with his BKB inside the Sprout will Dark Margo in the mid lane. BKB's up, the Remnant left and right, jumps and dives. One more hit will do the trick, but Boxy can't see it.
I also didn't expect Titan to die. Very nice kisses coming out from Boxy.
Yeah, really well done. And what do you reckon? He's got Silver Edge queued up. What comes after that?
Silver Daedalus.
Yeah, potentially. Schofield. Zai having a fight around the Sprout. Kisses cancelled out by the global silence of Stinger. Mickey just keeps on charging forward. BKB wears off, the lone druid sends Bear in, but the Ravages are good. Sacred connects on the two cores, the tendrils there as well. Beautifully played. Mickey, though, Seal turned him out of it. K1 dead to Mickey's.
Those animations, they work 1, 2, 3 times, not more than that. If you overuse it, people will find a way to deal with it, and they'll absolutely crush you. So it is a surprise factor.
But Dendy was playing it mid in NA last season. You know, even before Gaming Gladiators, was it Gaming Gladiators that brought it on? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And
Zace.
Yeah, so Dendy, you know, he is the innovator. He was running that mid.
That is actually, imagine how much pride Dendy feels that after like 20 years in competitive Dota, that's a little bit too much, but yeah, a lot of years. He's definitely in the second decade if you count it there. He's still called the innovator, so it just means that ideas just keep pouring into him. But yeah, I haven't been following NA too much. I did watch a couple of games, but it wasn't something that caught my eye all that much, so I can't really comment on it too much. And yeah, I still think it's not gonna catch up like that. Everybody is playing. There's gonna be a person here and there, but it's not gonna become meta, at least I don't see it that way. Would be really surprised if that's the case.
Okay. And speaking about innovations as well, this is my first look at the new draft panel that production have got going for us, and this is clean. This is just absolutely, you know, I'm going to praise production because it looks absolutely amazing here. Getting the bands next to the pick order as well, easy to follow and just absolutely clean. But coming into this next phase, so we see already, like I said, the tiny, a lot of green heroes being picked up here. So is that the theme for this next patch? You know, the green heroes coming through, Nature's Prophet being banned out. Is there anything you're expecting to see in this next phase?
It's a spring tour, Rob, so that's why everything is green. You know, we're gonna get the fresh grass, you know, some flowers coming up and stuff like that. So that's why we are in the green theme. But yeah, I'm very much surprised by the Death Prophet, so that's why I'm not sure where one move are gonna be going with this one. Gilgir plays a mean tiny, though then again he plays, you know, a mean techies, a mean hoodwink as well. So I think it's very tough right now to actually pinpoint what they want to do. But maybe a Snapfire could be great. Oh, they're gonna go for the Disruptor, which I would say is not a hero that I'm a big fan of, especially if you're coming in as the underdog. If you're coming in as the underdog, this is a hero that could really break you, because when you start being behind with the Disruptor, well, good luck doing much with the hero.
Yeah, and looking through as well. Yeah, that is something that I've always heard, that, you know, it's a great hero when you're ahead. But one move, how much can they plan to be ahead in this first game here up against Team Spirit? Because, I mean, Team Spirit still, I mean, last season, I don't think they dropped that many matches. Did they drop anything apart from, they didn't drop anything apart from Tibet Boom, did they?
No. They did lose a couple of games here and there. Usually the second game, Team Spirit, I have to say, they have been approaching the second game or one of the games in a series always a little bit different in terms of draft, which I think is fine, right? But at some point you need to get into the winner's mentality, right? So I do believe that maybe in this season they're not going to be experimenting all that much, and then they'll have time to do it on the major if they make it there, because, well, you know, it's probably going to be played in a new patch. Okay, scratch that. There's the experimentation. Anti-Mage got slight buffs, and we are going to be seeing it now.
Yeah, and how do you feel about the Anti-Mage coming back into this? Is it a good... Because, I mean, like I said, the lean of those heroes that do come online a little bit quicker and want to start to roam with the team did get a bit of a nerf. So I feel like the game, at least the laning stage before you hit that mid-game 5 versus 5 fights, it does go a little bit longer, gives a little bit more time and space for the Anti-Mage. So do you like the pick in general for the Anti-Mage, or do you think the game is still a little bit too fast to be picking this hero up?
I'm okay with the Anti-Mage overall. I think there's always space for a hero in the game. I think this game in particular, though, it's not a very good Anti-Mage game, to be honest, because it's not like you're up against an offlaner that you absolutely crush. There are things that catch you: Static Storm, Glimpse, Avalanche. All of those are spells that you don't want to be playing against. Silence, I mean, you're gonna have the Manta, but either way, it's not ideal. Your towers will tend to fall, and now with the PA coming in, I mean, look at Team Spirit's heroes. They have absolutely no armor, literally no armor if you look at them. So I'm kind of afraid now for Spirit. I think this is one of their experiment drafts. Yatoro probably said, "Yo guys, I tried the Anti-Mage in a pub. It's looking good, and let me have it no matter what." It's not like you're gonna look at one move's lineup and, okay, these guys get destroyed by the AM. They really don't.
Yeah. So what would you then expect? Because it looks like it is going to be Larl's hero left to draft, unless you want to pull something funky like the mid Rubik. So looking at this here from Team Spirit, like I say, there is very little armor. What are you looking at here for Team Spirit in this mid lane? What would you expect them to ban the Ember Spirit? I was actually going to suggest that for Spirit to pick up themselves, because they do have that next pick, but is there something that you think fits here for Team Spirit?
Anything that can burst down the PA. We've seen some Queen of Pains being played out, even though I haven't seen much success of it. It is a way to go. You need magical damage to deal with the PA. You're gonna be in a ton of trouble in this game if you cannot pressure the hero, right? Even if the AM and the PA are kind of similar in farm, the PA will cut down everyone. So you have to have a hero that's gonna be finishing people off, and that's pretty much what Larl plays. You know, the snipers, pucks, spirits, stuff like that is something that comes to mind. Even the Snapfire that just got banned out, that is those are Larl heroes that would definitely fit the narrative of Team Spirit's draft.
Yeah, I suppose if you can combine the Mortimer Kisses with something like the Beastmaster Raw Telekinesis, you know, the Phantom Assassin, it is a lot of damage that you wouldn't be able to stand up to. So,
10 seconds
getting
remaining.
removed the Team Spirit, looking for this next set of bans, and
5 seconds
Death Prophet,
remaining.
is this definitely going to be, because I mean, I've seen it last season, the Death Prophet was split between the off lane and the mid lane. So would you prefer this Death Prophet here for the draft of one move?
I'm thinking about it right now, and I feel like you could lane the tiny Death Prophet in the off lane. Everything is kind of open for one move, considering they have the last pick.
Radiant
Yeah.
team ban.
I'm actually not sure. Maybe I'd rather put it mid because it's not a natural anti-mage counter, and then maybe you can get a Slardar or I don't know, an LC. Though considering there's an Undying in the lane, I'm not sure that those classic counters would necessarily work. So overall, I
10
do believe
seconds
mid
remaining.
might be the best
Team
option,
spirits
Yeah.
but I
don't
wouldn't
pick.
mind it being in the off lane either.
Okay, well, I mean, I suppose one move do have the last pick, so they can respond to however Team Spirit want to draft here. Spirit, they've got themselves about 40 seconds looking for this last pick on the mid lane. Like I say, I'm completely out of the... I've had time off. My head is just... It's
10
all gone.
seconds remaining.
So, relying on you here, Harry, what heroes are you looking at for Larl?
5
Because you've already banned out the
seconds
Keeper of
remaining.
Light as well. Is there anything for Team Spirit? I know you talked about the Queen of Pain. Is there anything else you'd like here to see that Larl could play in this mid lane?
Queen of Pains use maybe an Invoker, right?
Yeah.
But Invoker is very risky because you could be lacking damage. So I just want to see damage. That's kind of like whatever it is. I want it to be a nice damage output hero. If they would go for double push, that would be kind of hard. Yeah, okay, there's damage, there's space creation. Disruptor and PA are your targets in this game. They have to die, and if you have the resources, you want to be able to respond when the Death Prophet uses her ulti. So it's a solid pick for sure.
So
10
would you be looking
seconds
here
remaining.
on the side of Team Spirit, if this is the Death Prophet mid? Are
5
you
seconds
keeping that
remaining.
Storm Spirit there to, you know, once that the level 6s start to come out on the Death Prophet, on the Storm Spirit, is it up to the Storm Spirit to roam to create the pressure on the side lanes? Or do you want to be sitting in that mid lane, you know, because obviously once that Exorcism starts to come out from the Death Prophet, you will start to lose that mid tower quite quickly. Do you then look for the rotation in from the Rubicon and the Undying to put the pressure onto the Death Prophet?
It's you need a strong Storm Spirit, right? You need someone that's gonna be able to get kills. If you rotate a little bit too early, that could backfire. So I think that Larl will probably be slightly on the greedier side, especially for the reasons that you mentioned, defending the tower initially. And then if you get a good rune or something, you're gonna rotate, but obviously you're gonna be focusing on yourself until you're absolutely certain that you can go for some of these squishy heroes like the Disruptor, like the PA.
Okay. And how do you see the team fight going here from Team Spirit? Because I'm looking at it and there's not a lot of... I suppose you've got the Fade Bolt coming out, you know, you've got the Axes and the Storm Spirit if you can get up close and drop those Remnants, but I'm looking at it and the Burst Factor isn't really... I'm not seeing it for Team Spirit, you know, the long drawn out fights. Do you think that
Choose
favors
your hero.
Darkseer coming out now as well? So in the 5 versus 5 coming into the mid to late game, who do you favor between these two teams?
Well, if it's coming to a fight, right, the one move are undisputed gonna win it. But the way that Team Spirit wants to play this one is that they want to poke. They have superior vision, they have superior mobility, and you have to utilize that one. This last pick of a Darkseer is actually very weird to me because Anti-Mage is considered to be one of the better heroes to lane against the Darkseer, and it's two melee strength heroes versus an Undying. So I think one move have put themselves in a position where, yeah, you're gonna be very strong in a team fight, but something that has been a reoccurring theme in the games 2 days ago is that Afterlife has had a really bad time in the early 10-15 minutes of the game, and I think that is a big problem because he should be the one creating space. He needs a lot of levels, and with this hero, especially against an anti-mage, it's not an easy thing to do.
Okay. So, how do you see one move? I mean, looking at, like you say, because the Darkseer not having a really good time in that lane, do you expect then for him to just get the minimal levels in this lane and then maybe move into the jungle with the Iron Shell and look to farm up? Or do you need to stay in the lane and try and put what pressure you can on Yatoro? Because, I mean, Yatoro, if he gets that free lane, if he gets that quick Battle Fury, it is a problem for one move. So, how do they want to play around this lane?
It's a tough one. I think you just leave Afterlife to get whatever out of that one, and you make sure that you crush the Stone Spirit with the Tiny.
Okay, guys, this is going to be the first game of Team. This is one move. A quick word from our sponsors and get right into it. So check it out.
Сейчас поиграем.
Сейчас будет показательное. Сейчас будет показательное.
Prepare for battle.
Welcome back as we get ourselves straight into this game. So let's take a look here in the mid lane. We can see that already, you know, there's starting to be some more. The wards are going down. There's a couple of smokes going through as well. And looking at this, Harry, even at level 1, do you think there's a potential for a gank here, or is this just, you know, both teams posturing, looking to get some wards down, looking to get that vision?
I mean, there's always a chance that someone missteps, but if no one missteps, I don't think there's gonna be any potential for a kill. I don't see one move being crazy enough to run in with heroes that basically don't do much level 1. Tiny's probably gonna skill up a tree. You have Iron Shell level 1, which does absolutely nothing, and yeah, a PA good at chasing, but not really good at fighting. So you're probably gonna try to dodge Spirit, especially the Undying here. Get your 2 runes, and that's about it.
Okay, well, we'll see coming into this game. I mean, the wards have gone down either side of the river. Both teams looking to get that going. You know, just get that early vision here. There might be a mini engagement coming through on this bottom rune as we see 3 heroes. No, it looks like the Storm Spirit moving himself away here. So yeah, Mira and Collapse, they move themselves into the river, and it is just going to be that 2 for 2. Gilgir going to be chased down. Yatoro, I think he's just a little bit slower there than the Tiny, so not going to be able to catch up, get that damage off. And Gilgir even taunted him there with a high 5. Yeah, with those boots, Tiny just a little bit faster.
AM is one of the faster heroes in the game. 310 is actually a pretty good movement speed, but when someone has boots, well, it's not really going to be possible to get on top of them barefoot.
Yeah, and looking at this mid lane, we see Ainkrad coming up against Larl. I mean, Larl already starting off here with the Remnants and Ainkrad in that. With the Crypt Swarm, any changes to the build for the Death Prophet? Is it still Crypt Swarm as well, the Spirit Siphon you want to be going towards?
No changes there. Maybe you're going to get an early point in Silence, but just because of the Storm Spirit, probably not even.
The toss back onto Miposhka. Going to be taking some Iron Shell damage here now as well. Coming up against Afterlife, but Gilgir taking the tower shots. Trying to get that pull through. Will lose his courier, so technically first blood, but I mean, poor courier is only trying to do the jobs as the Iron Shell continues to go down here, even underneath that tier 1 tower. Trying to get that dry away. Miposhka taking a bit of damage from this in Afterlife. He just wants to keep the pressure onto the anti-mage, it looks like, and yeah, the Iron Shell, even with the tower shots, it's still going to be doing a little bit to Yatoro, but on the bottom lane, there's a lot of damage going onto the Disruptor and Pantonem. He needs to back himself away. Even Munkushi suffering a bit in this lane.
Yeah, this is the thing that Beastmaster and the Rubik, they like to spam a lot, and you're up against the PA, and both of them started off with sticks, so they're gonna have the mana to do so, and this is already proving to be a problem for one move who, I mean, they themselves didn't get the sticks, and only now they're gonna be delivered.
Yeah, and you can see the odds on screen from EGB. They do think that Team Spirit is going to have a bit of a better time in this game. Not massive odds there for one move. You know, they're not looking at 10 to 1s, 11 to 1, anything like that. But they aren't the favorites here, as you can see the odds from EGB. Bottom lane, Collapse is going to be taking a lot of damage, though. Can he get himself in a safe position from this? The Thunderstrike coming through now, level 2 onto Pantonem. So he does have that glimpse as well as the Thunderstrike. And how do you feel? I mean, we're seeing a lot of disruptors now. In fact, Pantonem might be the one in trouble. We'll come back to that in a second. Pantonem, can he get himself away from this one? Collapse, he might be the one to pick up first blood. He will be. The disruptor does go down.
Collapse just doing his things. He popped a salve intentionally so that the enemy see him, and then he started juking around the trees. So you want to take that one away as Pantonem, and suddenly you're just dead because you're a little bit too deep.
Yeah, and how do you feel about, I was going to ask before the first blood, but Disruptors, we've seen a lot of them go for that glimpse level 1. How do you feel about this being picked up? Because I know in the past a lot of people were, you know, adamant that Thunderstrike level 1 was the way to go.
It does a lot of damage. The thing is that the cooldown is pretty high. So I'm not 100% certain it's the best spell in terms of damage, but in terms of conserving your mana, it's definitely up there.
Okay. And mid lane, you see Larl taking some harass coming out from the Death Prophet here now as well. He's got his bottle, boots flying in on the courier as well. So Larl's going to be able to get himself into the jungle, find himself this bounty rune as well, just to refill the bottle. And even maybe, yeah, dropping a remnant here as well. As back on the bottom lane, you can see that Munkushi, he's not being deterred just yet. Still throwing those daggers out, still getting the aggression onto Collapse. So Beastmaster going to be a wee bit careful here, but he does have the tangos, has that regen, and should be fine.
Yeah, Collapse is gonna be okay now with the Helm of the Iron Will so early on this Beastmaster. He's not really gonna be in that much trouble. PA started off with the Blightstone. You know, Munkushi had an idea of being aggressive onto heroes that don't really have all that much armor, but when both of them, you know, when Mira has a wand and when Collapse has the Helm of the Iron Will, you don't die. And Pantonem does, actually.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here now, Pantonem. He's going to juke up to the top up north now. Glimpse comes out onto the Beastmaster, so Collapse taking a lot of damage. Munkushi, but the Fade Ball is still there to get the kill. Munkushi, he wasn't able to jump. Not going for the Phantom Strike onto the Beastmaster there as well, and Collapse. Does he want to come back into this? He has mangoes to throw those axes. And Munkushi just disappears.
Yeah, they're outplaying move. One thing that Spirit tends to know how to do, especially in their offlane, is to play the lane. And one move where, well, one of their biggest weaknesses has been the laning phase, and they haven't drafted themselves up for success in terms of lanes. So we are kind of seeing the problem in that one. At least the Darkseer is farming okay-ish, but Yatoro is not being pushed back at all.
Yeah, no, you can see that on the net worth. Yatoro is still third in net worth. Mira on the bottom of the lane is going to take some harass, but yeah, Yatoro, he's still looking fine. And Afterlife, he's running out of mana now as well. He's got that Ring of Health, but he doesn't actually have anything to regen the mana. So going to be chased down. Miposhka as well. The damage coming out onto Afterlife. Afterlife keeps trying to do what he can underneath this tier 1 tower. The double avalanche does come through. The toss back now as well onto Miposhka with the Iron Shell. But Miposhka just could be able to walk himself away from this. Nothing to keep him anchored in. And now Yatoro just comes right back in for the harass onto Afterlife.
And the Spirit are really going for the aggressive plays on both bottom and top, and with these kind of approaches they're just getting so many creeps away from the enemy cores.
Yeah, and you can see this, the Anti-Mage so confident. He's diving behind that tier 1 tower with his blink aggressively. Miposhka trying to do what he can with the decays as well, getting those stacks up, building the health, building the damage as well. And at the minute, Team Spirit, it's only 1k net worth lead for them. 3 kills ahead though. Nearly 6 minutes in. Every single lane it looks like. Well, maybe not the mid lane, but he is only about 400 gold behind. But yeah, the 2 side lanes at the minute, Team Spirit having a really good time.
Yeah, but Larl will be a much faster farmer than Ainkrad himself. The thing is, Ainkrad needs to make those towers fall, and considering that the lanes went badly, it's not going to be easy to do. Whereas Larl, with this build that he has gone for, well, he's just going to be able to farm the creep camps and stuff like that, and just get himself up there in terms of net worth. So Team Spirit are in a very comfortable position right now on all of their heroes.
Yeah, and I suppose when the Beastmaster is going to be your tower push as well. It just means that Larl can match the aggression, match the rotation of Ainkrad. If Ainkrad rotates to one of the side lanes, maybe to try and get a push down onto the tower, if they find a gap, you know, Larl just matches it, gets the damage out, zips right in, drops a remnant. Ainkrad has to be really aware of where he uses this exorcism, because Storm Spirit will just be able to rotate and follow.
That is true, and you can see that Ainkrad is trying to move. They just know they have to make a kill happen, and they will. Mira, of course, will try to go for a TP unsuccessfully, but those kills like this one need to be fast. If that took any more time, it would have been a disaster, but this way, it's actually quite nice for one move.
Yeah, really nice kill to get them on the board, onto the Rubik there as well. But I mean, the Beastmaster's not going to mind that collapse. He's going to be fine just farming up. Munkushi moved himself right back into the lane to find it. And how's Munkushi doing in terms of net worth? We take a look at... God, he's about 500 gold behind the Anti-Mage, and that's nearly half an item on your Battle Fury, and it is going to be the Battle Fury here. It looks like for Munkushi, he's already got that Orb of Corrosion, but he's got that Ring of Hell, so it looks like he wants to go into the Power Treads and then right back into the BF.
The thing about Battle Fury heroes is that the timing is very important, because it increases your farm speed by so much, especially on a hero like a PA, because you can easily farm the Ancients once you get it. So, you know, being behind the AM is already going to be a problem, and his laning phase not going well means that he probably won't be coming in to get kills, whereas an AM can always join the fray, use a mana boy just to accelerate the farm just slightly.
Yeah, all mid lane, there is going to be the jump in, there's going to be the Vortex Spark as well. Ainkrad going to get himself away from this one. The silence comes out to 3 heroes, but the toss going to be there trying to get him to safety. The damage into Ainkrad trying to get himself away. And Mira will still get the kill, and the chase down onto Gilgir. Gilgir, can he get himself away from this one? Not with the telekinesis. Even Munkushi, I mean, Munkushi's going to try and get himself in, but he's not going to be able to get the kill, and there's a regen rune there for Larl. Larl will be absolutely fine. In fact, if they want to reset after he's got a lot of mana, a lot of health back, they could make another dive in, but it looks like Collapse on the bottom lane. He's even just going to be able to split this wave. So it's just going terribly, terribly wrong here for one move all over the board.
Munkushi, if he dies right now, it's going to be an absolute disaster, and Larl is going for it. Okay, he's fine. That jump from Munkushi, and there was no way you're getting a kill. You don't have a level 6. Let's say you have level 6, you're hoping, okay, I'm gonna double crit and I'm gonna get him, right? I'm relying on luck, but with 70 damage, you're not killing anyone.
No, absolutely not. And he dove himself into 4 heroes. I'm surprised he wasn't punished more for that. But it looks like Team Spirit were just in full, you know, they got their objectives, just wanted to back themselves away, maybe not even thinking that Munkushi was going to jump into 4 heroes.
That is one of the plays that is only enabled because you absolutely crushed your opponents in the laning phase, right? You go in that play with 1 or 2 levels less on your heroes in general, and one move, turn it around completely because the DP survives. You saw how close it was, and they brought 4 heroes, right? So Spirit recognizing the fact, or, you know, kind of trying to see where their limits are, considering that it started so well, and they had no limits in that one. Killing Ainkrad after the X system was used, you kind of crippled one move for a very long time now.
Yeah, and this is the thing that we saw that Collapse didn't even rotate into that. He was able to get that tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. And if one move want to try and do the same thing, like you say, it's going to take them a little bit longer because there is no exorcism here for the next 40 seconds or so. So it looks like Afterlife, he's just going to be skipping the wave, and the Death Prophet moving back into the jungle while the Beastmaster moves into the mid lane, looking to take down another tier 1 tower.
Larl now wants to play area aggressive because he knows there's no level 6s on the Disruptor and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's going to get that dive in now as well. The Vortex comes out. There's going to be the fake bot, and Larl does get the kill. He's going to be getting really down low, though. Does he have any ult charges left? He does, even a Shared Tango, though. So to get the kill, they don't overextend, and they back themselves away safely. Really good play there from Team Spirit just to get the 1 pick off.
This is very smart from Spirit. I'm betting on the fact that when the game started, they said, guys, we want the fights to be around the mid lane. We don't want our Storm to rotate, but we do not want their DP to rotate. So let's play around the mid lane. And they managed to do it so well. They win the side phase. They even bring an anti-mage to the mid lane. Now everything was around it. This mid lane tower, 1 move, it shouldn't have fell, and this shouldn't have fell before the top tower of Spirit, and now Spirit can do whatever they want because they're so far ahead.
Yep, the roar being used. The Avalanche did get off before the roar came out, but it wasn't even alive in Pantonem. Just has to keep himself away, trying to help support. But now, what is the... Do they want to go into Munkushi? Munkushi, he is going to be in that blur form with the active goal, but it looks like it's actually going to be rotation to the top lane here. Yatoro, maybe that's Afterlife, tier 1 power. It will go down. Exorcism is going to be used. That's actually going to be a really nice one. Field start to dome, but he'll be having damage to take it down now as well. Afterlife needs to put himself around, and Mira will be taken down, and Yatoro just jumps himself right into this. But Miposhka's going to get low. Miposhka will go down. The Vortex on the back line. They might be able to get the kill onto the dark side now as well, but no. Yes, they get really down low. Did they get the kill onto Larl? All silenced. Not be able to zip zap him away from Yatoro. He's got that blink. Can't get himself away from this one. It looks like he might just be able to solo health. But what a good fight to take down 3 and only lose the Darkseer though.
You could see from that fight that what Team Spirit are doing are testing the limits of their lineup, testing the limits of their heroes. Because there is no reason that you go to defend the tower rather than seeing what I can do. And if they were playing against another tier 1 team and you could defend the tower and you don't, you might lose again, because here fight not losing all that map control and you know, and farm around the map, so you are okay with giving it away. But overall, it's a win for one move overall.
Yeah, and well, that's happening. But Yatoro was able to get himself up alive. He's still continuing to farm. Even before the Battle Fury's up, you can see that he's got about 1,000 gold net worth lead over Munkushi. Munkushi could be in a little bit of trouble now as well. You actually want to make the dive. You know roughly where it is. The thing is coming through here. Miposhka, the first one forward. Mira's back him up. And the form is Munkushi. Was that diving? Was going to go in as well. Larl, he's given himself wide into this. He's going to find the strike away. Now, they have that zip zap back now for the Vortex. Munkushi is going to get low. Doesn't have enough. He absolutely do to get this kill started. So everyone's out. Trapped through Q. Have enough damage to return. Do they take down Larl? Actually wants to come into this as well. The glimpse comes out, but the roll will beat there. And the damage onto the tiny should still be able to get the kill. He will be able to. Even Pantonem on the Miposhka wants to go to the base after this. Oh, maybe just a little bit too far here for the Undying.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe. I think that you are maybe right. That means a little bit too far. 13 minutes in. This kind of reminds me of tops of the A9. You know, he's diving you in tier 3s 12 minutes into the game. But yeah, this is definitely too deep. They are creating space for the anti-mage. Considering Yatoro doesn't have a Battle Fury yet, it's not like his farm is going to be accelerating like a lot from the kind of move.
But I suppose again, any time that the Phantom Assassin is going to spend dead, it is going to be an opening for the Anti-Mage to create a little bit more of a gap. And I mean, he's only about 300 gold away, not even that, about 140 gold away now from completing that Battle Fury. So it is going to be about a 14-minute Battle Fury here. Meanwhile, the Phantom Assassin, he's going to be so far away from this.
Yeah, definitely needs time on Munkushi, but yeah, I mean, with the broadsword in general, you're gonna start doing a bit more damage. The biggest problem for Munkushi is that he really cannot join a fight, right? If he jumps into the middle of the fight and the Beastmaster is a part of it, the other ones maybe he can escape from. The Beastmaster, no, he is definitely gonna die. But one move are finally going for a move of their own, and at least forcing out some TPs here on the Anti-Mage would be nice.
Yeah, the sounds comes through now as well. They have the toss back. Is that Avalanche? Well, was that toss? There is going to be the shield up. Yatoro is just going to be able to pick himself out.
He returned the A toss. That was not perfectly played by one move. Wanted to combo all of their spells perfectly, and because of it, in the end, the A toss came a little bit too late. You push back with the counter spell, and suddenly you don't have enough lockdown for the kill.
Yeah, and you see that. I mean, Ainkrad, he the double damage room for that. So you want to get something out of this. They've got that exorcism going here. He's going to be wearing off with a fortification. You want the bottom lane, hands from the vortex now as well. The drive back to the disruptor. Disruptor, he cannot get out a lot.
And the biggest problem is the theory will fall. A next wave of creeps is coming. You don't have your biggest team fight ulti at this point. You're in trouble. Of course, one move. We're here talking about how Spirit are controlling this game, but if I'm Spirit, I'll stop playing around, because Darkseer might not be good against the AM in lane, but as the game progresses, it becomes increasingly difficult for the AM to deal with, because AM illusion is something that crushes you, right?
Yes.
So as the game goes on, as the wall of replica gets stronger, and potentially he gets an Aghanim Scepter somewhere down the line, I wouldn't be feeling comfortable if I was Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the Darkseer on the top lane, where he is just finding that free farm after moving around with the Iron Kill. Not really been contested for the past few minutes, so he is finding that space. Going towards, it looks like the Guardian's Greaves right off the bat, while he's out, and Team Spirit is right into the rush pit, and they do have that beat master here, so he's going to be able to send out Hawks, get some early one systems. Oh, Darkseer might even lose his burner. It looks like Yatoro. So cool.
Yeah, that's really nice for him. But you can see the sense of urgency now from Team Spirit. They're going for objective-based gaming. They don't want to dive any longer. They've went for the most there. So okay, we can't do this, we can't do that. Now let's go back to just playing normal game Dota, and they are still pretty far ahead.
Yeah, and this net worth here again, only 4k, 711, 5k now, only 711 in terms of kills. But one move, you saw that we trying to jump onto the anti. Oh, the anti gets fell off now as well. Gilgir, so he's got that chase down, no P all the time. He's trying to get himself away from this one, but he's going to be stuck as well. 3 heals around, only going to be a matter of time before getting the wheels down. Yatoro walks himself right back into the avalanche, but it looks like body blocks. Second kill for the anti-mage.
Usually, I don't care who gets the kill, but AM's that kind of a hero. Larl is alone in the mid lane, so he's gonna lose the Aegis.
He's just gonna be able to work himself out of the static bomb. He's gonna be, he's got bolt charges as well. He's gonna be fine.
Man, are they afraid? I mean, at this point, you have nothing to lose. Those kind of things you should go for. I know that the Spirit are very good at responding, but it would have been a really nice thing to get the Aegis down, especially after you're committed to Static Storm. Now you can't really fight for 60, 70 seconds.
Yeah, at least they do have the wall. The exorcism still up if a fight breaks out. But it looks like Yatoro's just going to split out one lane. Make sure he doesn't get engaged on, and then collapse on the other there as well. You see him on the other side of the map, making sure that tier 1 tower goes down. And one move, he's still farming in the jungle. It's good to dive in though. Did they actually get the kill to Munkushi? He's going to go down again. The magic damage is way too much. He just couldn't stand up to the 3 heroes that are jumping on him.
Nice. It's gone. The Spirit will have a BKB. That becomes a big issue because now he has an Aegis. You can't kill him, and once he gets a BKB again, you can't kill him. Your only physical damage is going to come from the PA, especially burst physical damage. You have some from the exorcism, but you're not going to be able to keep the storm in place.
No, I like this from one move that they Spirit are. They're just looking at 2-3 heroes to put the pressure onto Yatoro, chase him away from those inch, to make sure that he doesn't get the best out of this map. You know, he's not getting everything for free. And while that is happening again, Collapse is still pushing on this top. Collapse, does he even... I don't think he's died. No, 3-0 and 2 on this Beastmaster. He's got a really good time here, Collapse. He's not. The damage and backlines now as well. I'm not going to kill the Death Prop. Death Prop doesn't telekinesis. The lift up as well. Ainkrad trying to get himself away with that.
All in there.
Larl might go down. The Aegis is still up and pop to get the drag before he does go down now as well. That's going to be the next target to get 2 of these. Might even be able to go for more for that tier 2 tower, and you know what's stopping now going for that tier 3. 18 minutes, 19 minutes in, and they're diving right towards the fountain.
This has been the name of the game. It's pretty diving, one move being helpless.
Radiant structure.
Yeah, no, out of jumps. What we've found in a couple of plays, even against Storm, has a full BKB. He has a regen there as well. That BKB, dive himself away, pop the regen rune, and he gets stuff out alive, no scratches. And yeah, 19 minutes in, Team Spirit, they take a Rax.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Death Prophet wants to use the exorcism. Rubik was ready, and the second the exorcism gets stolen and the fight is already lost, you know that you're gonna be losing the lane of Rax. It doesn't matter how many glyphs you have, you're gonna be in trouble. And they just, so they're not gonna have any to defend the mid lane tower. They're not gonna have any to defend the bottom lane push. So Team Spirit right now, they're on a roll and gonna be looking to end this game really fast.
Yeah, and you can already see them moving around as 4 heroes. You know, the anti-mage, look, it's so early. He doesn't even have the man to complete off. In fact, he's going to go for a dash and Yasha. So far ahead, he doesn't even think he needs a split push. I love that Manta style.
But I'm not sure about that SNY, even though I see it from Yatoro from time to time on heroes where I would expect the meta. Definitely from this game in particular, much usefulness of a, especially against the tiny disruptor on an anti-mage. It doesn't do much for you, so I'm very surprised about this one.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under
to
attack.
do some what looks like, you know, warning. Yeah, the odds this time. One move, you know, right up there on the 9th one. Team Spirit just having a great time at the minute, and EGB obviously them as the favourites coming into this match. So I can gonna go their way. Do they get the jump off the anti-mage though? There is 3-4 heroes stacking around on this. Yatoro's just gonna be able to get away from the danger. And yeah, be on the side of one move, have to team themselves back because Collapse is going to apply the pressure with the rest of the team. They need to defend the tier they have left.
Even though from our perspective the game is probably over, one move they still want to play, and if you let another lane of Rax fall, they're gonna be in trouble. They're up against Beast Snap, and it's not gonna go good.
Oh, the Beast comes out from lock, he's just walking that connects field, get himself
again.
Try and do what he can here. It's just gonna be taking too much vacuum to his back. There's no wall used here. They've got that wall trying to run away. This is just a position where GG is gonna come out. Yeah, one move.
Victory!
This is Ainkrad unconsciously telling Team Spirit, please win as fast as possible, giving them extra points in a row. Because you don't want to look weak to your team or to the fans.
that.
Team spirits.
That was your conclusion. So one move, they're not gunning for the victory, they're gunning for a 23-minute game.
Just maybe a 30-minute game.
Yeah, I'm stop right there. Stop with the bias towards Team Spirit. You know, move. They're still a Dota team, right? So if Team Spirit in the previous, I'm kidding, of course, Rob. Don't worry. But Team Spirit in the previous game, even though Team Spirit rarely does this, there were times at that game where they're kind of underestimating their opponents and diving a bit too far, right? Then they stop themselves and say, no, this is not good. So one move, if they manage to play a normal game of Dota, make it last a little bit longer without the towers constantly falling, because a tier 2 tower falling 15 minutes into the game, that is easily preventable. You need to not get stomped, and laning phase wise, well, everyone can learn that. Though I did touch upon it with Automo when we casted 2 days ago, that one move's biggest weakness has been the laning phase, right? So it's kind of tough, but if they would survive that part of the map, Gilgir tends to make some nice plays with some of his heroes. You know, Munkushi is a really stable and a really good carry, I think. In some stronger teams, this guy would actually be really, really good. Although every Eastern European carry is actually pretty solid. But overall, I think one move, they've got a shot to play a normal game against Team Spirit. Just don't allow yourself to get absolutely demolished everywhere on the map, because that is easy to do. Just put it in your mind, how do we not lose the lanes? You approach it in the draft, you approach it in the gameplay, and you go from there.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Spirit gonna go back to that Rubik, so they really do like this hero, and it was popular even before the latest patch. But Team Spirit, I mean, what were the combos that we saw last
10 seconds remaining.
Where like the Centaur in the offlane, you know, so that Centaur Rubik offlane was an absolute menace for teams. The Primal Beast as well, you can tell can be soft with the just moving yourself through with a trample, but one move come out swinging with the tiny and the Ench. So Team Spirit, what do they want to be going for next? You know, I mean, talk to me about the Ench as well, because the Ench, one of those heroes that pops up from time to time. But what's the real strength of this hero coming in here for one move?
Well, I've seen it more and more. Usually when something new comes up and you don't necessarily know what to do, you go back to something that's tried and tested. That's always going to be nice. You're always going to have a solid lane within Enchantress. This hero never does anything special, no matter what changes you make to it. And of course, it's a decent one against the Beastmaster Team Spirit played earlier, though I'm not sure if they're going to be wanting to do it again. So overall, we are seeing some Enchantresses as the Naya picks to the Beastmaster, or just a straight up way to make sure that you get to play the game.
Yeah.
Team Spirits, turn to battle.
Spirit, they are going to go for that Centaur. So it is going to be the Rubik Centaur offlane, and again, it was just so strong in that last tour. The Team Spirit, we saw for the majority of the time that the Centaur was being banned out if the Rubik got through. So one move coming up against this lane, how do you even try and start to deal with this lane as the carry in this thing?
You need something that can stay away, right? There's no other way, or a hero that is self-sustainable. Monkey King comes to mind, right? Heroes like a Slark, like an Ursa, who usually do well against fat heroes, don't work so well against Centaur, because he actually does a lot of damage as well, right? So that is where you need to adjust a little bit. So as I mentioned, heroes like a Monkey King, or something that stays away. Sniper, let's say, would be a solid one. You know, that is the laning phase wise when you come against it. The thing is that a lot of those heroes that do well in the lanes against the Centaur, well, later on in the game they struggle against the Stampede.
Yeah, and looking at it as well, you see the Undyne's been banned out. The Ember Spirit goes away once Team Spirit wants to get rid of that. Even with the nerfs to the Ember Spirit, do you still think that's like, you know, one of the top tier mids in the game, or has it been knocked off the shelf just a little bit?
You're gonna have to repeat that one, because I was looking at the Hitch the Ride and how it's changed, right? So I'm gonna have to apologize to you.
No worries. Yeah, just looking at the ban on the Ember Spirit, you know, is that still one of those top tier mid laners?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's just the case. Every time when a patch comes out, a team that tends to experiment too much will fall flat on its head. You can get new heroes in and out, something that's buffed, something that's nerfed, you get a little bit out, something that's buffed, you get in. But the whole idea of how the game is played, especially with no map changes, stays the same. And the heroes are good because of how the map looks, because how the game is played, not necessarily because the hero is incredibly powerful. You know, Lina wasn't only good because she had such great stats, but also because it was a range hero meta and that all of the other carries really weren't looking all that good, right? So that's how the metas are set.
Yeah. Do you think the meta's changed a little bit to allow those melee heroes back into it? Just just touch it. Are you still looking at primarily the draw ranges, the snipers, those kind of heroes to pick you up and take you to the victory? Even like the Terrorblade to a point where they ranged most of the time during fights. I
think with the Radiance change and with the Spectre coming into play a lot more, that the range heroes got hit a little bit just by that, right? But overall, if this meta would go for long enough, I mean, with the changes nowadays, we would still end up close to where we were before. Because what happens is some heroes get nerfed, some heroes get buffed, and you are used to the strength of a hero. So if you play it, you're gonna overextend, and that's why you're not gonna play, because you're gonna be losing quite a lot with it. But if enough time passes for your brain to reset and for you to forget what you could do, and you just come up with new patterns and new approaches to team fights, the same heroes will return most of the times.
Yeah. Oh well, I should be fine then, because my brain resets every time I play Dota. And yeah, we see the Timbersaw being banned out here as well. The Morphlin's going to be gone. Morphlin, again, one of those just strong heroes that pops up from time to time. So Team Spirit, what else do they want to be removing here? Just looking at one draft, like say the Ench, obviously you got the block pick for the Beastmaster, so not even needed to look for that. Do you expect this to be here? I mean, one move with the Tiny chapters coming out. More than likely, I'm expecting these to be the two supports here for one move. So, yes,
that was Rob just got cut off there.
Yeah, am I still here?
The
Hello?
microphone.
Hello.
You hear me, Rob?
I can hear you.
Looking like we lost, even though I see him. So I'm very much surprised at what's happening right now.
Team Spirits, turn to pick.
Right, weird. I am still popping up on Discord. Getting the green
okay,
circle.
I hear you. I hear you.
Back.
I hear
okay. Weird. I don't know what that was then.
Yeah, that was very weird. Your face was fine. Everything was fine. It's remaining. Not your internet, but just for a second, it was like, bzz, and nope, nothing up. So I couldn't really hear your sentence till the end. One move again, go for a Death Prophet, and I'm very much surprised they're continuing with this hero. We're seeing that a lot of teams are kind of staying away from the Death Prophet, whereas they are still forcing it.
Yeah, I suppose it is still a really strong hero. You can flex it in that mid lane or the off lane. Great tower taker as well. So it doesn't surprise me to see the Death Prophet in there. They ban out the anti-mage as well. Not wanting to let Yatoro get that for a second time. But yeah, so I was saying that the Tiny and the Ench, probably the two supports already for one move, so they have those locked in. Would you expect the Tiny to shift from that position or do you expect it to be, that support hero here for one move?
Considering that now we see a Death Prophet, I'm thinking that it's again going to be Ainkrad playing it, so I would expect Gilgir to play it, especially because he has shown that he's pretty good on the hero and he likes playing it.
Yeah. Also,
his laning phase on Tiny in general is solid. He understands roughly what to do, and he has not only one move, but Gilgir in particular has had a problem with the laning phase. I remember we had a LAN in Serbia, a local LAN where Gilgir comes, and obviously he's the best player at that point, top 50. He is crushing it with his team, Division 1, right? And in the laning stage, he would struggle. I'm not saying that players here are bad, but they're not on his caliber. They're not Division 1 caliber players. At least most of them are not. We have like LeBron, Borania, but that's about it, right? So he would struggle in lane. With the Tiny, he understands what to do. And you were asking about the Alchemist, where there it is. Considering that the Bane now is slightly stronger, you have a good guy to protect the Alchemist in the lane. You do well in the lane, you get an early Radiance. Well, rest is history. So Team Spirit, they're really gunning to end today's day really fast.
Yeah, they must have something else to do right after this that they've got to get themselves to. So looking to end this series in two and quite quick games as well as one move. Looking for the next pick. Offlaners up against the Alchemist. What is it that, in fact, no, do you actually run this as a mid Alchemist, or do you expect this to be the carry Alchemist?
I kind of feel like it's going to be a carry Alchemist. Team Spirit, I think, played one Alchemist game. I think they lost. I don't know if it was the Major now or the DPC. So many games have been watched that I don't really remember. But overall, it was Yatoro that played it.
Yeah. The Abaddon comes out for one move, so looking at potentially an offlane Abaddon, and I am seeing on Pro Tracker Abaddon being played in that offlane a lot more. Becoming one of those heroes that apparently just that little meta shift gave it the opening to become one of the most popular heroes in the pub matches, at least.
I've seen carry Abaddons as well with the Radiance, so that wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, in top games as well. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to play all that much. I kind of got disappointed when the patch came out. I was ready for the new map to learn all the new intricacies. Then when I saw the patch was kind of similar, I didn't play all that much, so I didn't get into it. But whenever I watch it, it's there tends to be an Abaddon in some of the top games and even in the carry role. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be fun to see. And tiny Abaddon doesn't really seem like the greatest lane, especially against an Alchemist, two melee heroes, one of which has very low armor. I wouldn't want to be in your skin though.
Team Spirits, turn to ban.
So they ban out the Storm Spirit. So yeah, one move thinking that it's going to be the carry Alchemist as well. Looking to ban out Larl. Again, looking at mid laners, you could still go for something like is the puck still there? The puck's still there, so it offers a lot of control. I mean, looking at Team Spirit, they have a lot of control anyway with Rubik Tail, Stomp, pretty much everything in Bane's kit, the Unstable Concoction from the Alchemist as well. So Team Spirit, they have a lot of control in these fights. Is there anything you'd like to see for Larl to pick up here to finish off the lineup for Team Spirit?
Well, all of those are easily removed still by the Abaddon, so that's one thing to come into play. A lot of those stuns are single target, right? Or even Centaur stun, even though it can be AoE, still can be a single target one as well. So Aphotic Shield is going to be quite nice here, especially in combination with the who, of course, does like to be deep into the fight. So, well, again, I would like something that does damage for Larl. Fuse gets banned out, the Snapfire is in the pool, so that could be a hero he wants to go for.
Yeah, I'm just looking to. I think I still like the perk, just for something to keep them, locked down in like the acid spray. The setup for the Centaur Warrior, the stun as well. Just keeping one move in place and keeping them anchored in that one position for the fight.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. If it is a puck, then I wouldn't mind that probably being sent to the offlane tiny mid. But they're gonna go for the Snapfire. Yeah, it's a Larl hero. It goes well. Again, you're not gonna experiment with a lot of heroes. You are bringing in the Alchemist. You're bringing in the Bane. Everything else stays the same. I think this is a very nice way to round it up by Team Spirit.
10 seconds
and
remaining.
One move with one hero left to pick here. So, are you expecting this? Abaddon, are we still looking for an offlane here for one move to come up against the Alchemist?
I'd love. It's banned out. Nope, scratch that. So that's unfortunate, but it is gonna be a carry Abaddon, but it's not gonna be an offlane hero that gets picked up because Ainkrad will be playing the puck. And again, a lot of the stuns are single target. You have an Abaddon to protect you, so the puck will be fine. Is this lineup of one move going to win? Well, after what we've seen in the previous game, I don't think so. You would have to outdraft the enemy so hard. But looking at the lanes, they should go slightly better for them. So I do believe one move will get to play Dota.
Yeah, and so last game it was all about those Battle Furies and who got to that first, and it was Yatoro that won that race. Looking into this, do you expect it to be the Abaddon rushing towards that Radiance here as well as the Alchemist?
Yep. I do expect that one to happen. I think it's very, very likely. Here, the thing is, Ainkrad needs to do some work in this game. He really needs to be on point. It's very important that he gets those nice early levels. It's very important that his support secure rooms for him, which they can, and then it's on him to break up the laning phase. Because a long laning phase for Team Spirit will allow them to stack, it will allow them to find, their towers are not going to fall. But if Ainkrad is moving around the map, if he's constantly threatening you, then it's going to be a problem. So we're going to be looking at him.
Yeah, and again, Munkushi, you talked about how he's probably the linchpin in the draft here for one move. So being able to get to that quick rate, get himself going, and I suppose Abaddon has a lot more built-in protection, like you say, with the Aphotic Shield, with the borrowed time at level 6. Doesn't get that much from the side of Team Spirit, as much as the PA was in that last game. So do you expect here, I mean, Team Spirit, do they still want to try and do the same? You want to push it through that lane as the off laner, and then move around as a team to take it?
They're gonna try. You didn't play against the Abbott, see how it goes.
And guys, before we get into the second game, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB. So check it out.
Prepare for battle.
Here I am.
Welcome back in as we get going here for game number 2 of Team Spirit versus One Move. And we can already see in lane, Gilgir is trying to get that ward down. I'm not sure which one went down first. I think it was the dire ward. So they know where this radiant ward is. You know, they can come in for the D ward if you want to. Gilgir may just have around for that deny if he needs to. Who's got the sentry? In fact, there's going to be the backstop coming through here as well from Team Spirit on the other side of the river. Take a look at the map. It looks like they are backing themselves away.
Yeah, you want to use the Alchemist Unstable Concoction. I mean, the spell right now with that slight buff level 1 is... It used to be like the most powerful spell. Now it's even worse. Like, I really wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that one. 2.2 seconds stun, 150 damage. It's actually insane.
Yeah, and Afterlife is going to be walking up the hill. There goes Miposhka with the lockdown here. He's got that Nightmare Goal in the air. It's going to be an instant concoction right onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet, the Scatter Blast, and Yatoro picks up that for a kill. Really well done. In fact, they're even going to be able to get 2 runes off this side as well. Yeah.
Yep. There's no one on that side, so they're going to be completely fine. I expected them to give the kill to Larl. Of course, it's always better to give it to the mid laner. Yep. You have a safe laner who needs the extra farm, but that just gets his farm with the Greevil's Greed at some point. You know, that is when you accelerate. You don't necessarily need the first blood.
Yeah, and you see the odds on the screen there as well. You know, it's a little bit more fair of Spirit this time. 4.6 to 1 for One Move. So EGB a little bit more confident than Spirit. Well, you know, they're going to wrap it up once again in the second game.
Yeah, well, after what happened in the previous one, they got the first blood as well. You know, I'm 4 times off. Not surprising whatsoever. Team Spirit are looking like the stronger team, a lot stronger team currently, even more so than coming into the game with their with their performances lately. They've just outdid themselves.
And just looking back to the Alchemist Stone, like you say, Mark at level 1, 2.2 seconds. That's the perfect need to hammer channel, you know. Is it something that we might see on Yatoro? It looks like once again there is going to be some aggression coming out. Collapse, you know, it's going to be fine. But on the top lane, Gilgir took another unstable concoction to the face. Wasn't 8 full charge this time now. As the Nightmare comes out, Yatoro has another double concoction ready to go. Gilgir, he's going to go down. Yatoro picks up the kill. Level 2 goes for the acid spray as well. Afterlife, the one more right click. Bane going to be able to get himself away from this one. Afterlife not able to send Miposhka to the Afterlife whatsoever.
So every single stat of Bane increased by 1. I think if it wasn't, he actually dies there. Like you're kind of seeing in this lane the hero with no armor against a 220 physical damage nuke, and then you have the armor reduction from the acid spray. So it's almost impossible for Gilgir to play here.
Yeah, would you Yatoro Gilgir? But would you expect Yatoro? Is this straight into Greevil's Greed up? Does he go for another concoction first?
It's acid spray. You always max the acid spray. You might get the Greevil's Greed on level 3, but you're always gonna max out this spell because it allows you to stay in the lane longer and it allows you to farm stacks. So you cannot be greedy, even though that's the kind of the name of your hero, right?
Yeah, and mid lane you can see that Ainkrad taking some harass coming out from Larl now as well. Larl with the 2 points into the Scatter Blast, and Ainkrad, he's taking to the face, so you know some damage, but he does have the Wall Rune, has that bottle available for him as well. So in this mid lane, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how that's going to go. But Perk, with all the mobility in the world, should be fine. Top lane, though, Afterlife's going to be chased down again. The unstable trying to break the vision, but he walks himself right into the path of the Alchemist. Alchemist going to be able to get that kill. Did go with the point into the Grievous Greed. At level 3, Miposhka might go down here, keeping himself alive with the stick. He just keeps Gilgir in range just for another unstable to come off cooldown. And this is going to be another kill onto the tiny, no way out.
Oh, I don't really know what Gilgir was doing while they were killing Afterlife. I think it was maybe going to block the camp or something. But his movement, not be there to save Afterlife initially, and then staying close again, eating those nukes over and over again. It's I just called him out on his not that great laning performance. But like on a tiny, he knows what he does. Well, it seems like he got surprised in this one.
Miposhka does finally go down to the Afterlife and get off the Spirit Siphon. It looked like it was max range though as well. Another unstable concoction going to be thrown out onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet just taking a lot of damage, even coming back to the lane with the Spirit Siphon here. Afterlife has to be careful, but Ainkrad, what's he going to do? Just dive himself away to... Did he get the other one as well? No, he did. Be a 1-for-1 on the wall.
Again, there was that robotic, and actually, I was told by Automo that it was happening to me. So maybe Discord just likes to play a little with us overall. But yeah, you talked a little bit about the mid lane, and it is relatively a close matchup, but the Snapfire should always get slightly ahead. Larl being that good with the Snapfire, and Ainkrad probably not playing against the hero all that much in pubs is always gonna give a solid advantage to Larl here.
Bottom lane, how's it going for Munkushi here as well? Collapse. I mean, it's going to be a really nice stomp into the Abaddon. The Abaddon's out of mana now as well. Telekinesis comes out. He does have himself a couple of magos if he needs to get that Aphotic Shield off Collapse. Taking a lot of harass damage. Pantonem now as well. They might even be able to get the kill into Collapse. Collapse getting himself away from the Munkushi. He's maybe just waiting for this Aphotic Shield to break. Might be able to get the kill onto the center. Oh, so low. Will go down here as the refresh comes out from Munkushi.
Plant trees to save lives, but in the end it just wasn't fast enough from Collapse. Interesting, Collapse is going for a Meteor Hammer, so we are gonna be seeing that one, and yeah, Gilgir is gonna die again.
Yeah, stand up again. It get the kill onto Miposhka, but it's again just the space being created for Yatoro here. He's top of the net worth, and the Alchemist, even with only 1 point in the Grievous Greed, that's not going to slow down anytime soon. Yeah,
but still, he isn't getting that much CS. He has 5 kills though. That is a problem, because the team have 5 kills and all of them are on Yatoro. But overall, he's not farming that well currently in terms of CS. So the top lane isn't a disaster for one move, and this game it is definitely a different story than what it was in the previous one, even though people are dying on top over and over again.
Yeah, the Nightmare comes out. The cookie came through as well, but there's just that little, the iframes on the Nightmare now as well. And Gilgir trying to run himself away from on the puck, already back in the mid lane. Double Avalanche comes out, and it looks like they're going to give up the kill onto the time.
Yeah, mistaken. Mira is chased down there by the Enchantress, and with the help of Munkushi, that should be a kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of Centaur Stomp, but Centaur Stomp comes out from the Conqueror. They were able to get the kill onto Mira.
If you're okay with one guy from the family, doesn't mean that every single one of them is gonna like you. That's Mira found that one out the hard way though. But that's always important for Dota to teach us a lot of lessons as well.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be another life lesson as well. Maybe, you know, just don't get that caught out. I mean, the Rick, he was on his own side of the map, so it wasn't even like he was out of position as Telekinesis comes down. Munkushi running towards his tower. Actually going to run away with the ultimate kisses. He's not even level 6, so he doesn't have the borrowed time just yet. Larl will be able to pick up the kill. Did he get anything out of it still? There is going to be Dream Column coming out onto the Rubik. But comes through, but the Meteor Hammer, it actually connects after the phase shift from the puck. Puck needs to leave. They do get the kill onto the Rubik. Ainkrad in the trees. Collapse trying to chase down. Now the Centaur Jump comes out. Do they get the kill? They do. And Larl picks it up with the right click there as well. He's got that Scatter Blast as well to come out onto Pantonem. Pantonem trying to heal himself up. The 1 point into the nature of the tendons. Is it going to be able to get himself out alive? It looks like the cookie won't be able to connect there. Pantonem will be able to prance himself out of danger. And onto Collapse. Even has himself a Warpine Raider with that acorn shot there as well. So Collapse going to take a little bit more damage. Is the impetus? Is he going to be able to get the kill at level 1? Oh, it's going to be close. It's not going to be enough, and Collapse turns back into it there as well.
Yeah, so yeah, Collapse is that good that he can connect with the Meteor Hammer onto the puck without any setup. So he's just a genius that cannot be beat. Yeah, that's what actually killed the puck there. If he had gotten himself out on the orb before the Meteor Hammer, they don't have the damage. He gets another orb out, and he gets out alive. But unfortunately, he gets hit by that one. I thought it was optimistic, but Collapse gets it.
Yeah, I like this as well from the time that he knows how bad a time he's having on his top lane, so he's starting to rotate around. And Mira, he's already used the telekinesis, so again, the Avalanche will back there as well. The all Mira, he keeps going for it. Ainkrad picks up his first kill of the game, though.
Thing that we haven't talked about is invasion of jungle by one move. They actually have really good heroes to do so. Just to walk around the jungle and make the alchemists feel uncomfortable, even the support that are stacking to make them feel uncomfortable as well. So I think one move, they actually have a pretty good lineup to be annoying to Yatoro. What tends to happen is if you're a weaker team and you're playing against an alchemist lineup, one move goes bad and you kind of give up on that one. So I'm hoping that they just continue to apply the pressure.
Yeah, and at level 6 now as well, you see Yatoro's being pushed away from the Death Prophet with the 3 points in the Spirit Siphon. 1v1, Afterlife has a really decent time here in the lane. It looks like it's going to forget the Alchemist, because the Alchemist not really hitting any major power spikes in terms of items. He is going to be looking towards the stack. This is going to be a really nice stack as well to get him closer towards that Radiance, especially with the 2 points into the Evil Street, and do what he can with the Acid Spray to help him farm up. So gold will be there eventually, but at the minute, Death Prophet having a decent time in the lane.
What broke that sleep? I'm not sure about that one. He used the Aphotic Shield. Yeah, he did. Okay, I'm guessing that was the case, but that's a really nice setup for the Hammer if Miposhka and Collapse are playing together.
Oh, top lane, though, they're going to be able to get the Dream Codes. Yatoro can get himself away from this. He's trying to buy time. But the orb comes through. Ainkrad able to kill the... And yeah, Yatoro in that for the next 20 seconds. That's really going to hurt his farm.
Yeah, for sure. Though, one move, they don't find the ward there in the jungle. Actually, it seems like the action will be never-ending because Spirit wants to make something happen in the mid lane, but Cavalry is coming over.
And that drag back here, there's going to be the toss. The Wildling Rip failed to set up. Wow, yeah, setting up. He's going to go down. No way out there for the Snapfire.
Oh, they're playing really well right now on one move, but fast to that as well.
Yeah, and you can see Stampede's going to be used here. They're going to try and get the chase down on Munkushi. Borrowed time already been used here. They should be able to get the kill telekinesis, and Mira will be able to secure it onto the Abaddon.
He was so close to getting the shield off. He gets it off, the puck goes onto that orb, they get a kill. But even so, even you losing the Abaddon, that's a solid committal on Team Spirit, and they lose a mid lane tower. So overall, one move, they're happy. They've opened up the map to be able to invade the Alchemist jungle, because Alchemist, when he becomes a problem, 15 minutes plus, that is when he farms. From 15 to 20-25 minutes, that is when you need to stop them, and you need the map to be open for that to happen.
Love that from there as well. Avalanche just to make sure, because Yatoro, you were trying to find that tower. A really nice ward behind where the tier 1 tower was as well, but Gilgir comes in with the Avalanche. Just make sure he gets the last hit on the tower, just for that extra little bit of gold. And Yatoro, no, it looks like Gilgir's just sticking to him. So they're pulling the Bane over, you know, put him out of position, because I think Bane and Miposhka level 5, nearly level 6, wants to try and get aggressive, you know, get that Fiend Script off, but he's having to protect Yatoro in his own jungle.
It has to be that way. So many heroes to invade, so many heroes to be close, and Team Spirit don't really have like amazing burst in other parts of the map, especially playing against the Abaddon. You know, Munkushi, one side of the, or among other things, you know, a good side of the Abaddon is you can stay in the lane for a very long time, take the damage for a very long time, and expect a rotation, right? And that is what he's doing. He's on the bottom lane, pulling some heroes to him. One move, they send the Enchantress in the enemy jungle, they pull one hero to her, and then the Alchemist is alone, and you can go for those moves to kill him. So one move right now, they actually have a really good tactic in the to make sure that Yatoro can't farm all that safely, especially not without help.
Yeah, and bottom lane, there goes the Meteor Hammer there as well for the tower. Munkushi taking some damage, but this time will have that borrowed time. And what do you try and do to play around this borrowed time here on Munkushi? Because it is just going to be popped from Collapse. Collapse just keeps getting the aggro out. Or do you just let this go and, you know, okay, could be the relocate coming in from Ainkrad. He wants to come down and help out his teammate. The Collapse, a big tanky boy at the minute with this Meteor Hammer. There's even going to be the rotation of Larl. They're looking for the kill. And Ainkrad, can he get himself away from this? Ultimate cases are going to be dropped. It looks like they're not going to find a target.
Radiant's
Other part of the map, Yatoro start going to the Uncle Concoction. He got stunned by the Sentinel Conqueror from Pantonem and he couldn't get it off. And now they're gonna return a favor because of it and actually maybe even kill Miposhka. He does have 9 wall charges, so maybe he survives here.
No.
Radiant's bottom
was
tower
close.
is under attack.
Close again, only counts as horseshoes and hand grenades, and well, the Centaur Stomp, it's one horseshoe you don't want to be coming across here in this game. Gilgir trying to run himself away from Collapse. Again, the Stampede has already new into the Meteor. No, the Avalanche Gilgir. It stops it and puts Collapse in a really bad position as well because he is low health. And with the harass damage coming out, the magic damage now as well, Gilgir trying to catch up with Toss. Right on top of him, even the pig pole here, Collapse. He will go down and Ink picks up the kill.
No, even though Meteor Hammer is pretty good right now, it always seems a little bit memey when people are using it that way.
Oh, you get the kill onto Afterlife though. Afterlife coming, gets into the secret, trying to buy something up. Maybe, but yeah, just gets caught out and killed off.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was doing there alone. I think he wanted to continue playing fast, but his teammates were out of mana, so no resources. So he probably said something, and I am gonna guess that's a communication issue that he just came up to that high. No way you get out of that one alive.
Yeah. Especially with what looks like all 5 heroes there from Team Spirit, you know, looking to get the engage off. Alchemist now, Yatoro, he does have that Radiance, so he's going to be able to get that acceleration on his farm that he accelerated already with the Greevil's Greed. So here for one move, what do they need to do to play around this Alchemist? Do they want to try and carry on getting aggressive, or is this the time where they just pick off on Munkushi, let Munkushi get the Radiance up, and just play for time at the minute?
Force things towards the top of the map. If you're constantly being forced towards the bottom part of the map by Team Spirit, he's gonna farm the triangle and his big jungle on Yatoro. You cannot allow that. Make sure you're playing on the top part of the map. Then if Team Spirit move into your jungle, you smoke there and you fight. You cannot slow things down now. Remember, 15 to 20 minutes when the Alchemist gets super far ahead and then he ends the game. Well, it's what's happening right now because Yatoro, he is so far ahead of anyone else on the map.
Yeah, you can see the net worth difference above Larl, who's the net worth, you know, he's well that 3.5k above, and obviously you expect from the Alchemist to come around a lot quicker, but it means that he hits his max peak a lot quicker though as well. So if one move can play this, it may be a little bit like close towards the top, but Munkushi halfway from his own is he's still about 1,000 gold away. So Munkushi just looking for the uninterrupted farm, it looks like, in that Dire's part of the map.
And this is the problem with the Abaddon. Once you get pushed out of your lane, you know, the good part that we're talking about, and you get forced into the jungle, your farming capability is non-existent. You have very low mana, so spamming the Aphotic Shield is not an option. So until he gets that Radiance, this is going to be very slow for him.
Yeah, again, it's still about 900 gold away. In fact, it buys out for a full 1 as well as Tarkin. So they actually want to move themselves into the Roach Pit with the Exorcism here, and this is going to be, I guess, Munkushi giving himself that lifeline with the... do you actually pick it up onto the Abaddon with the Borrowed Time? Or maybe do you give it over to the Death Prophet here?
I think you give it to the Puck. Double life on Abaddon isn't that great because your borrow time is already going to be used. So Ainkrad is probably going to get it, and Munkushi, I mean, he's still going to farm for some time right now before he joins.
Yeah, and again, the full 1 does come out, so that sets him back a little bit on the Radiance as the Alchemist just continues to farm. The Aegis go the way of Ainkrad. He even gets himself a double damager in here as well on that foot.
So at least one move are moving towards the top part of the map. That is nice. Team Spirit, of course, are slightly faster, so they're immediately forcing things even deeper on the bottom side of the map. By being deep on the bottom side, you are allowing Alchemists to farm safely.
They even find out the most of the kisses are going to rain down here on Afterlife. Afterlife Stampede comes out, Telekinesis well, but the Beam Script comes through, and Mira, it was that Stolen Spirit Siphon. It was. They get the kill onto the Death Prophet now as well. Ainkrad, I mean, Larl, he's in a little bit of trouble with the Centaur Stomp. It comes through, they get the control onto the perk. That's going to be the Aegis being popped, and Larl's
no way.
No, the Avalanche is going to stop it. They get the kill onto Larl. They even get the cliff out onto the Centaur, and Centaur, he was close, but he won't go down just yet. He gets the TP off to safety.
That was so close in terms of heroes dying, right? Because Death Prophet barely dies because they had to commit even the Fiend's Grip there at the end. And then Larl, he got his Guardian Greaves. He got it assembled, then delivered a second before he was about to die. So he just pops it, right? He gets his HP back, and he survives just a little bit longer to be able to get the Puck Aegis down. In the end, it's a 1-for-1, but you do get the Aegis down, and guess what? Your Abaddon was part of the fight, whereas Yatoro, he was just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he just continues to find time and space here now as well. And the Centaur So the Centaur going for the Meteor Hammer means that he completely skips over the Vanguard. Going to be going straight into the pipe. Do you still think that's a good idea, or would you like to see him go back for the Vanguard?
No, the physical damage here is, you know, pretty non-existent. The only thing that comes to mind is the Death Prophet, and that is the one that you are going to be trying first every single time.
Okay. This Gilgir could be in trouble at the top. In fact, to get the cookie, trying to keep this spin alive in the Bane. He's going to go down. In fact, inside the store, the pot to kill it was. Thinking about to turn this one around, and Pantonem, he's going to be the first one to go down in this fight. The chase out onto Afterlife. Now as well with that Stampede, they're going to get themselves right on top of Afterlife, and Afterlife trying to do his best in the Spirit Cycle to keep himself alive, but he's stable to culture coming out. The cookie now is over extra stuns. Afterlife, the Centaur's the big one. He even get the lockdown onto the puck, and Ainkrad getting himself away from this. The orb will be thrown out, trying to chase himself, trying to run himself away. Looking maybe another unstable concoction onto the Tiny, though. He get a lot of damage onto Gilgir. Gilgir, can he get himself away? The cookie not onto the puck, and the puck will be back safely as the Mortimer Kisses once again start to rain down. Gilgir in trouble, slowed down, the damage coming out. The collapse, he doesn't want to be caught out here from by the Abaddon. He even get the kill onto the puck.
Man, I really love that one. Yatoro, he could have stunned the puck, and most people would have gone for that one, but he turns around onto the Tiny because he knows that Abaddon is behind the puck. He's immediately going to remove it, and the puck is out. So he goes to the other side, and they wait. They wait it out by being deep for the puck to re-engage and then to kill him. That is just a beautiful way for Team Spirit to play. And these guys, one thing that they've always been amazing at is communication inside of a team fight, and it just goes to show here as well.
Yeah, and some really amazing position as well. Obviously, Larl hanging himself back around the cookies. He's got the creeps as well to keep himself going, keep his teammates alive. And you say that just the target selection though from Team Spirit, absolutely on point.
Not only target selection in terms of who's gonna die, but I'm gonna toss this spell to this guy, and it might open up something else. It might not, you know. Puck could say, I'm not gonna go for this one, but you bait him in. That is what Dota is. You're constantly trying to force your enemies into a mistake, and that's exactly what he's been doing perfectly throughout this series here, forcing one move into one mistake after another.
Yeah, and Alchemist, what's he got flying out to him there? I think he just the dagger, but actually wants to be going towards the Orchid to come out. And what that puck looking in terms of not even anywhere close to something like the BKB. So the mobility that this puck gets offered to himself with his skills, he gets silenced by the Orchid. I suppose you can rely on maybe Van to help out, but if he gets caught out solo, he could be in a lot of trouble here. Speaking about being caught out solo, Dreamcore comes out. Nightmare's going to be there here for Bane, though. Can he get himself away from the danger? The Sensor Song once again comes out. What was done? It's going to be the heal through all the brilliant for the Avalanche. You get the kill on the Bane. Bane bites back, and Centaur will go down. Yatoro trying to do what he can here with this unstable concoction onto Pantonem. Pantonem, though. Telekinesis, the damage. Is it going to be up? No. You don't get the cookie onto Pantonem. Pantonem's trying to run himself away. It's not going to keep himself alive with the Nature's Attendants. Now Yatoro with that BKB, the case arm. They might be able to get the kill onto the Rubik. Rubik is going to get low, but go down. He will be going down to Afterlife. Afterlife, he's not getting too far behind here.
Okay.
You want to disengage, you look like they do. Even Larl goes down. One move, might be able to get the advantage out of this fight.
Want to get more?
Yeah, no,
that's a dieback.
He absolutely, yeah. And you get the kill onto Miposhka.
If Yatoro is not part of the fight immediately, if you don't have a hero that the enemies don't want to commit on, you're gonna be in trouble. You know, one move, if their Death Prophet is allowed to stay in a fight for the entire duration of the exorcism, we see how much damage you're gonna do. Your Abaddon isn't doing the damage, he's just protecting you guys while the Radiance doing, you know, slight pokes onto the enemies. And it is the Puck and the Death Prophet that are doing the damage. And Alchemist, if he comes in and he doesn't have the help of the Centaur, you don't have the burst. So that Centaur is actually the main hero of Team Spirit, and with one move killing him at the start of the fight, it was already over.
Yeah, no, I'm used to the Centaurs being absolutely, you know, so survival. It's just to be hit by nuclear blast and carry on going in. But the Centaur, you know, collapse here. He does going down more often. You know, you 1, 4, and 6 here for the Centaur at the minute. And it just doesn't seem to be the Centaur that I'm used to. The big tank hero that survives all the way through the fights.
It is looking like tanky collapse is going more of this. I'm gonna blink stun, playing more of a tanky the Centaur. But it is what it is.
Oh, they do actually get the lockdown though onto the perk with the damage coming through. They should be able to get the kill, and they do. Ainkrad caught way out of position here in the mid lane.
So one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is this Alchemist build. Yatoro is trying to kill the Abaddon with the Abaddon not getting his borrow time off. So that is what you want. He wants to break him with the Silver Edge, silence him, and then you can kill him. He cannot pop his ulti, and he's broken, so it won't pop itself. But look at Munkushi, he's already going for a Manta style. So this build of the Alchemist, it's not going to be that great for Yatoro. I'd much rather see something like an AC.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nibbana as well, he started, I can't say catching up because I mean he's still got 10k behind the Alchemist, but in terms of fights, you know, he's absolutely holding his own. He's holding his teammates' own as well coming into this. So Yatoro, he's already used that BKB twice as well, so that's going to be going on cooldowns. One move, they just need to carry on forcing this issue, you know, forcing Yatoro to try and fight instead of farm.
That part of the game has passed. I mean, Yatoro now, he's gonna be insane in terms of farm. There is no stopping that one at this point. But you actually do have a chance of winning team fights right now. So I think one move are in a pretty decent spot overall.
Okay, and we'll keep an eye. I mean, you see we have one smoke coming up from Team Spirit. We take a look at the map indications there as well. They're going to go through the jump onto, they get the kill as well, onto the Enchantress. They're going to get moved down low. The Mira Hammer wants to channel there as well. From the center to get it off. The buyback comes out from Pantonem. He's going to step right back into this fight. Chase is on. Stampede's going to be using unstable caution onto the Abaddon. The chase down. The what can they do? What restore? It's going to be the Spirit Cyclone once again. For that Rubik collapse. So Dream Call comes out. And let's see what's broken there by Mira. But can he get Yatoro out now as well? Yatoro, he's a happy ball as well. Coming out with the Chemical Rage. But he's still going to be taking that a lot down. Can't pop that BKB. Also now going through the water, McKinsey's going to get killed onto Afterlife with a Meteor Hammer as well. There's going to be a lot of damage onto the Death Prophet. He will go down. And Yatoro trying to keep himself alive. Again, less than 2 health here for the Alchemist. So he has to be careful about where he gets out on him, you know, getting himself in and out of those fights.
Yeah. Didn't the difference killing the Centaur or not killing the Centaur? They saw that they got jumped. They're like, yeah, last time we won the fight, we can do it again if we buy back. No, you cannot, because Yatoro is going to be the one in front. That's the one that you cannot kill. And if you're not killing him, Stampede comes out, Team Spirit resets, and at some point they're going to find the re-engagement to kill one of your heroes. So overall, Team Spirit, they want to fight. It's not going to be a super successful fight where you kill a ton of heroes, but you're still going to be able to spread around nicely.
Yeah, it looks like the twos are being pressured as well. Larl TPs himself back in because the mid lane, you know, the Centaur was trying to do what he can to that mid lane with the Meteor Hammer.
Radiant's middle
Larl
tower
shot
is
TP
under attack.
on his own tier 2. It looks like they might try and get something out of this though. Ainkrad, he's in. He's going to be able to blink himself away, but Miposhka is close. As that Fiend's Grip again. If the puck gets caught out here, or in fact Yatoro wants to be coming in and put the vision down here with the sentry. So the self-stun comes out onto the Alchemist. If you want to try and engage onto this
BKB.
Alchemist, yeah, he's not got it for the next 8 seconds. But you can see that one move a little bit hesitant to make the jump here to the Alch.
Yeah, a little bit of communication problems there. I didn't know if they want to go or not. And considering the exorcism is not going to be up in another 40 seconds, you know that a big team fight is not something that you can take, so you just let it go.
Miposhka making sure that the Alchemist gets all his vitamins in there with those the mangoes being passed across, and Alch's not too far away from the. In fact, I think he's got it coming out to him as well. He's got full Silver Edge.
Yep, so Abaddon now could be in some trouble if he doesn't have Manta and he gets broken. Silence, he can easily die. Next stroke is going to be big, because one move, I feel like they could walk in and pop the exorcism, and then you are to go into, but it's still very risky. Inside of a pit, a good hoof stomp, a good Mortimer's Kisses could destroy you.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, you see that Team Spirit grouped up as 5. They're going to smoke up now as well. Centaur, maybe the bait here. Yatoro, you have vision. It's actually with Pantonem ball stepping himself away from this. Do they jump? Do they put a jump onto the perk? Looks like they don't. He might still be able to catch up both supports. The Nightmare onto the Enchantress. So they can change chance onto Gilgir. Gilgir can get himself away from it. It's not going to be. It's not collapsed. Just get the kill. They can go for even more if they want to. Turn around again. The Fiend's Pit still available. You can get the lockdown onto the perk. Okay, and once again, just backs himself away from the danger here. And one move, looking to disengage back behind that tier 2 tower. But the tier 2 tower has barely anything left on him.
I really love the disengage from one move, because they know we lose more heroes here, we lose the Roach. But the Spirit cannot really just enter the Roach, because they're not that fast at getting it down. So you just let one hero go, and you're going to be happy. And back to your question, did they catch the puck? He got the silence on the puck. Ainkrad got the blink before the Radiance damage kicked in. So that's why he'll either it would have been a puck kill before those supports even got caught.
Well, Spirit inside the Roach pit. I mean, Gilgir for the next 3 seconds. You want to try and contest into this because it is actually going down fairly quickly here now. All flies through Ainkrad, and it looks like Spirit. Do they want to try and look for the disengage themselves? Snow Stampede come out again. That's the rage has been used. In fact, they might be able to get a really nice double onto the sports, and it looks like it's going to be Bayonet that does go down. Mira up onto the high ground. Can get himself away and will be able to get that TP out.
I want to move underestimate the damage of Spirit, right? They don't have the greatest approach, but they have some minus armor, acid spray and low shredder. And if you're not in the vicinity, you're gonna be in trouble. And they just went to the bottom lane. All of them, they were greedy. They camped out. If you're on the bottom lane, it's gonna be enough time for Spirit to take the Roche down. This is a big hit for one move because with the exorcism, you want to fight around the objectives or areas. Now you don't have an Aegis, so holding an area is very hard. And which they were actually gonna take.
Yeah, and now it's the second rush as well, and Alchemist is the one that picks up a shot. Oh, we'll take a look at the mid, get the kill into the Pantonem once again. Centaur, you're going to be dropping that PT hammer now as well. The telekinesis Pantonem, when do start to keep himself alive again, and nature's attendance, but they don't have the burst down to get through it. Doesn't look like so. They might be able to bounce right around. The cookie comes. How did he get the kill onto? And Mira does go on. Stampede comes down, collapse, trying to get his teammates out. Buying time for Yatoro to get in. There will be a second down now as well. The blink on Pantonem. It looks like Pantonem wants to get the kill. And the 4-star even going to be able to keep himself or the Echo Shell as well. Who is it? Is it Gilgir that has it? It's the Gilgir that can so Collapse going to get himself away. He cannot. They do get the kill onto the Centaur.
The itemization from Team Spirit now is going to hurt them because one move have everything to deal with it, especially that Lotus Orb is a big deal because now you have 2 items on the Alchemist which are like, oh, I'm going to crush someone. No, you're not, because very easily you can pull the silence. He's even going to be committing onto the Bloodthorn. It's not going to be easy for Team Spirit to get the right jumps. If they do, it's going to be an absolute disaster for one move, but it's just not that easy to get a ton of heroes in the stuns when all of your stuns are kind of single target.
Yeah, and if that fight, maybe if they had Yatoro there at the beginning again, had that shot from the rush, so he had the option as well, so they might have to go for a little bit more. But one move, as soon as the Enchantress doesn't die, the 3 person didn't come through to get the kill. They were entirely confident to, just back themselves away. If anyone played out of position, like the Rubik and the Centaur, just look for those kills.
Alchemist is level 20, so when he uses the Uncle Mage, he's that back so fast.
Yeah, and now the comes in, there's going to be unstable cost at the end. And he's untouchable, even with that chemical reps now as well.
Backline
For the back plan. Trying to get the jump in, Munkushi. Looking for the kills, Yatoro as well. Looking to try and chase him after Afterlife, and he's taking so much damage. And can he get himself away from this one now as well? The Stampede is going to be used from Yatoro. He's on for a retreat. The chase comes in, and Pantonem on the top forward as well. Yatoro, he's just the chase. BKB. I've already seen 2 kills in 1 move. In this game, they're looking, Team Spirit had a really good time in the early beginning of the game, but at the minute, one are in complete control of this. Coming on to this tier 2 tower in the mid lane as well.
They didn't itemize to win, and they itemized to crush the enemy carry, and guess what? They just have the items to counter. So this right now with 6k gold ahead, it's not nearly enough for them to be feeling confident.
No, not at all. I mean, 6k net worth lead when you have an Alchemist in the game. Yes, he's about 12k ahead of the Abaddon, but that just shows that how well one move done on the rest of the heroes, just to keep the net worth high and not let Team Spirit run away with this net worth.
Yeah, definitely. You're giving everything to the Alchemist because it just has so much more value on him. But now, even when Yatoro finishes, his 6th slot with a Swift Blink and the Basher, it's not like he's gonna be this menace that just kills everyone. Of course, Team Spirit, they just have the heroes like that you could get those AoE stuns, you could get the right jumps, but overall, one move, they understand what it is that is gonna lose the fight, and it's pretty, normal for people not to hug during a team fight. So it's not like they have to be thinking about that one too much before they engage. So right now, I would say that Spirit are on the back foot.
Yeah, and how do they get themselves back into that winning position? Are you relying on this game going a little bit longer? Yatoro handing out Aghanim Scepters left, right, and center, or do they just? I mean, the targets. Again, I'm praising the target selection not 10 minutes ago, but at the minute, trying to get the jump onto the Ench, and Ench is he's surviving through everything that's being thrown at him at the minute.
I don't see a time for a play that wins it for Team Spirit. So the way that you win in kind of situations is you have a lineup that always has a potential for a play. So it's speed and forcing your opponents to take. The thing is, as the game goes longer, those small moves become more and more dangerous because losing one hero on the map is a big problem. You're going to lose a lot of map control because of it. But yeah, that's just the position that they're in. So it's not about items, it's about movement, it's about area control and spell usage. And we know Spirit is good at those, but one move have tools to deal with every single thing Team Spirit.
You look at the way the wall is set up as well. Every single entrance has a sentry as well. So if they are looking doing it between Team Spirit, they are going to look for engage as well. Let's see what they can find. It's going to be just an illusion from the Abaddon though. So they can go for a big wrap through that river. They actually they have a deep one as well into the jungle. Munkushi, they are going to deep, so they are going to be this long wrap loop smoke. Go on to the Abaddon, make before the fight starts. That smoke breaks. It's going to be away. Yosef comes out tiny though. Pantonem gets some damage on collapse, collapsing himself away from the speed. Slows down at the enchant. Stampede comes to the background. The nice one, really good on the instant. We had the kill into Pantonem. Finally, be taken down. But the Argon is losing that pain now. Not in the chase out onto the Alchemist. The Alchemist is going to be forced to pop the BKB on that runaway. And the Afterlife, he's going to be down fast, trying to chase down Yatoro. It's going to be an immediate disabling protection there to just try and break Afterlife's grip. Chase down, and he might even still do. The Argon still lose the Rubik.
I guess what's wrong? That was that good spell usage for Team Spirit, and it still ended up badly for them. Not even close. You kill one hero, but you're not even close to killing any of the cores.
Yeah, and now the Centaur forced to use the Yulset onto Munkushi, but Munkushi still looking for the chase down. Blink away from that Centaur. And yeah, no, one move. They lost the Ench, but they were able to pick up 2 kills onto the other 2 supports on the side of Spirit. And like you turn it around, even with good engagement there from the side of Spirit, there was nothing they could do to try and win that fight.
I'm looking at Larl items and he's going for an Octarine core. I don't know currently, but at some point this Nafar will need to turn into a right clicker.
Yeah.
It just has to be that way. If it's not, you're not going to be killing these tankier heroes, especially not the Death Prophet. He has every single item on Afterlife now to survive, especially the loads are protecting him from the Tiny as well, and his BKB is being delivered. So you need more damage, more direct damage, single target one to bring this guy down in particular.
Do you think the Meteor Hammer on the Centaur was a bit of a trap as well? Again, C collapse is 2, 5, and 10, so he's in the assists in there. He's got a couple of kills, but for the most part, I mean, he's so vulnerable when he's channeling that Meteor Hammer there as well. And again, 2.4k health, so it's not the tanky hero that I'm used to seeing. Would you have preferred him to go back for that Vanguard? You know, he's got that pipe up now, but the Yule Scepter even coming out here as well, and the Centaur, I guess a bit of extra setup. Would you prefer a different build?
I don't know. I'm okay with the Meteor Hammer just because it allowed him to get some of the early towers down.
Yeah.
That's fine for me. I don't think necessarily now if he has a Vanguard it doesn't change anything. It dies very easily. There's always a point in the game where the Centaur becomes squishy. In this game in particular, it just came out a little bit earlier.
Okay. And it looks like they want to group up for a pickup here as well. Yeah, Yatoro's the furthest one forward as well in the Silver Edge form. The smoke's going to break. The vision won't be there. Blink away. This re-engage out. The Linky Speed actually very good to get the top of the but can he get the kill? Looks so to be thrown out here as well. They're going to be changing targets. Again, the Bane will be the target. The Berserker's point actually going to be thrown out into Miposhka. And just for that extra regen there as well. Yeah, even the Greaves being committed to try and keep this Bane alive.
Well, those look like, you know, the kid that doesn't want to eat. Berserker's potion flying towards him. Here comes the, here comes the airplane into the tunnel, and then the cookie as well. In the end, they do feed Miposhka, and he's gonna survive because of it.
Yeah, but that's a big commitment to throw just to keep that Bane alive.
At least he survived. He didn't have a gem, so considering that we talked about vision and movement being the way the Team Spirit have to approach this game now, because they're probably gonna be weaker until ultra late game, and even then it's debatable if that changes. You need to keep those tools that allow you to have control yourself. So I think it's actually fine that you're keeping him alive.
Okay. How does he get the Fiend's Grip off through all of this? Because it just, I mean, obviously being the stable target, he doesn't have that Ags as well. He doesn't. Well, he's just picked up the Glimmer Cape, so that's going to be, you know, a nice touch for the Fiend. But the Sentry's being dropped because the Alchemist already had that Silver Edge. You know, is this a priority for the Bane at any point, or is it just keeping himself alive? You know, throwing out the control with the Nightmare as well as the Enfeeble.
You don't use the Fiend's Grip, the fight is breakdown. Even though it means you're gonna die without using your spells, just don't do it. Because the second you use it, they start running towards you. If they're together, they have so many ways to break it. So just make sure that you keep yourself alive, you keep your teammates alive, make sure that the fight is long, and wait for one move to move away from each other. Then that is when the Bane strikes.
Okay, well, we're going to see another smoke coming up, but it breaks in the trees. Ainkrad is going to be able to get that phase shift off. No Meteor Hammer this time. Ainkrad just going to be able to get the blink away, easily breaks that smoke. And yeah, Spirit probably not going to be happy about that. There is going to be two smoked up, but for the most part, one move of where Spirit are. And just looking to take this high ground, keep control of this dire part of the map as well. And it just means you have access to that tier 2, excuse me, the tier 3 is on the top as well as mid if you want to try and force something out, as well as having control around the outpost. So Roshan, it could be their next objective.
Spirit are trying so desperately to break the formation of one move. They're trying to jump in, because you jump in on someone immediately, they're gonna start running towards him. Then you can in that moment decide what you're gonna do, and you can see what Spirit are doing right now. They're pushing in the mid lane. They want one move to move from an area. If it's one move controlling an area, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but look at this as well. Munkushi with the attack speed here. He's going to be able to take down this tier 3 before the tier 3 tower in the mid lane even takes any pressure from the Tiger Spirit. So they are going to be forcing these team speed. Yeah, the TP's back from Munkushi. Was stolen. The Bloodstone comes out to the stun right across the face of the Alchemist. And it looks like inside the base, one move, they want to try and turn this one around. And yeah, force team Spirit back.
Dire's bottom tower.
Ruby got the Aquatic Shield. That is good. That is actually really good because it allows the Spirit to go in and out a little bit more than they did previously. And immediately they go for a smoke. They have a tool now they didn't have previously, and the enemies are on the retreat. If you catch them on the retreat, if you catch them when they're switching lanes, that is when you're strong. The problem is they're gonna walk into the ocean. They're together one more.
Yeah, so they have some vision with the ward being down to collapse. He's looking for a long wraparound. So that's started, but it's in fact it's going to be engaged coming up from Ainkrad now as well. That all flies through. They're going to be able to get the kill onto the takedown Mira almost immediately here now as well. And they're going to kill onto Gilgir in revenge though, as the multiple cases do start to be dropped. It looks like they're going to be cancelled off, and still Gilgir that looks able to trouble. And yeah, Alchemist, he might even go down. He's going to go down, and he has to buy back if he wants to get himself back into this. Chase on to collapse. Collapse can he get himself away? Sensor Storm comes out. It doesn't matter. The Manta Style is going to be there to get the kill onto 3 heroes, and all of a sudden this opens up the mid lane here. And one move, they're not even going to go back to Roche. They're just going to march themselves up the mid lane, maybe try and force out some buybacks.
Considering that there's just such a huge difference in strength between the teams right now, I don't know if it would have changed anything, but you had that one thing, you know, the stolen Aquatic Shield that we talked about, that kind of gives you, you're slightly stronger than you are naturally, and your Rubik just instantly dies. So at that point, the fight is 100% over, and Team Spirit, they try to disengage, to no avail.
Well, they're going to be able to take at least one lane of Rags with the puck in the lane as well. I guess it could be a double. And yeah, no buybacks coming through here. This is, it can't be Megas, because there is still a tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, but Mira being forced right back to his farm, and he might even be able to get the kills on Miposhka. Does he have enough to keep himself alive with it? A Photic Shield on the Rubik there as well. It looks like the alive with Munkushi. You get himself right back in, onto the Bane, and the Bane's gonna go down. He's just straight up dead. In fact, yeah, what if they don't want to leave in the base here? They're putting the pressure on. Comes through from the... Maybe want to try and look for him engage here. Gilgir needs a hammer. Nope. Seps comes out of that extra control. What are they going to be able to do with it? The tiny cookie. It wasn't even the stun. The cookie wasn't on target. And Gilgir will be able to get himself away.
They really wanted those buybacks. In the end, they only get one. But the thing is, the game is the same. If you're one move right there, playing around the road, maybe you're slightly afraid of fighting without the exorcism, but it will seem that way. I think even without it at this point in the game, they're more than confident to win a fight. And look at Team Spirit, they can't go to the road.
No, they just have to push out this mid lane. I mean, top lane will be pushing as well. This is going to be a free roll. Trying to look like for the start of one move. They get themselves a refresh, so that's the second exorcism as well. More charges on the Spirit side from the crit bombs coming through. And yeah, all of a sudden, Afterlife, he looks pretty darn scary. Almost unkillable to me, though, with that refresher as well as the BKB and the Aegis.
One move just like their name, they only need to make one more move in this game. Literally just walk towards the bottom lane. You're seeing that they're drawing the lines there. It's Afterlife that's making the call just to move their S5. Do not break formation. There is nothing that the enemies can do. This game is over. Just go and end it slowly. You wait for all of your resources. They're gonna be up right now, and you just go. There is nothing that can stop you.
No, and yeah, one move, they can just move themselves out. Spirit, what can they do, really? Because they have to defend the base. If they come out of their base for any length of time here, it's not like the Alk has the old poor man's Naga build, where you're looking to... In fact, did he get rid of the Radiance as well? I think he did.
Yes. Yep, he disassembled it and made a nullifier. So, he just wants to have this 6 slot. Now he finally does damage, really solid damage. So if he isolates a target, he can kill it really, really fast. But the thing is that he had this build 10 minutes ago, fine. At this point, with so many items, AC coming out, Shiva's coming out, I mean, one move, I don't even think they're afraid of it.
No. And you can see that they are, like you say, they're not breaking formation. They're playing close together, looking to force out this tier 2, maybe looking to force out Tigers as well, and end the game up against Spirit.
We thought Spirits are not gonna be reverting back to their ways of trying things out and then losing here. But one move, they played a pretty solid game. This is how you play against an Alchemist, and they kind of entered the timings of Team Spirit, survived, and I mean, for the last 10 minutes, the game looked easy for them.
Yeah, no, they've been in complete control here. And every time Team Spirit jumps in for a fight, it's just not been working out. And look at this. How quickly these illusions are taking down the tower as well.
People might not know the Curse of Avernus. Oh, actually, they're gonna jump in on Afterlife. Not even close.
He still has that Aegis as well. If anything does go wrong here for the Death Prophet again, the Spirit Siphon, so he'll be absolutely fine. Just about to reset right back. Yatoro's Yatoro trying to can, but has to be chased away. Yeah, the Shivas comes out here, and the Alchemist is gonna be taking off. What an aggro. He tries to chase that and go inside one move.
Yatoro has to put a hate on himself, because if it goes for the Raktas, you're gone.
And you see the Gilgir. He's waiting out. I mean, he's in the smoke as well, so essentially not even going to be able to see him. He's waiting for that big jump in from the sides in case they look to catch out. Yatoro again. Oh, they're going to be able to get Hex off.
Nice one.
Do they have the damage taken down though? Gilgir, there's going to be something now. Cancel off. Look quickly. You know, not even going to get it off. Time. In fact, Yatoro, he's going to be close to going down himself, and he's he might still be able to get the kill at the time. Will he be able to? No! He takes down 2 out of 1 move, and he don't even lose Gilgir. Spirit, they just call GG.
I think Team Spirit just wanted to kill him and call GG. The way that kill itself was going, you start being aware that you're helpless, and that's kind of what Spirit felt in this one. They're gonna be ready for game number 3, because one move, they really stick it to them. I mean, you play an Alchemist lineup, you miss a timing, one move, they played a pretty solid game, and on the map. Brute that ticks all of those boxes still, even with nerfs coming through.
The IO as well. Because I mean, like I say, it is for this series at least. It's one of the first bans. You see the Lash going there as well. Brood being taken away. But the IO, I mean, there are still answers. You've got like the Phoenix and the Spirit Vest, Dry Ranger Shard coming through. Are they just not in a good position to try and deal with that IO?
I mean, they are. They are in a solid position. We even saw an A.A., right? So it's not impossible. It's not impossible to deal with the IO. It's just that you don't necessarily want to pick those heroes just for that reason, right? So it could be a bad game for a Drow Ranger, and you pick it for dealing with the IO, and suddenly you're in a very uncomfortable position.
Okay. Well, getting into this third game here, at least into the draft, and we're going to see that it is going to be once again the Eng coming out the opening pretty similar here. You know, the Rubik coming through for Spirit, and then one move they go for that the tiny Eng coming through again. The block pick potential up against the Beastmaster. So Team Spirit, do they want to pick that offlaner right off the bat? And if they do, it's going to be that Centaur once again.
If I was Team Spirit right now, the way I would like to adjust to get something, it can kill the Enchantress. Perfect. It can kill the Enchantress. It is an off-laner. Doesn't have to be. It can be a mid-laner. It can be 5. Doesn't really matter. But it can kill the Enchantress no matter. If you're under-leveled, under-farmed with the Primal Beast, you trample the Enchantress, you don't care about the Untouchable, then you kill it. In the previous game, they could not kill the Enchantress if Larl doesn't come over. Now, immediately they're gonna have probably an off-laner that is gonna be able to deal with it laning-wise as well as the so I like it.
Yeah, and like you said, the ability from the Primal Beast to get the kill onto the Edge, because we saw it time and time again in the last game. You know, the fights Team Spirit, they engaged onto the Edge. She popped the Nature's Attendant, she got the heals off, you know, 4-staffed away, and all of a sudden this hero was unkillable. It just turned around from a distance, throwing out the Inquisitor's damage as well, and Spirit just had to retreat from it. And I think there was one time in the fight before the base was broken where she fought back and looked in control, but for the most part, yeah, they just could not kill this hero. Primal Beast, like you say, being able to get the trample off, being able to get the pulverize off as well onto the Edge, and controlling these fights and getting these kills onto the Spirit, should be in a better position coming into this up against one move than the Centaur stomp into the hoping that the 4-staff come out before the Meteor Hammer lands.
People are like, yeah, no one cares about the Death Prophet any longer. She lost some stats, so she's easier to kill, and that is probably the case. If you remember game number 1 when they TP to the mid lane, not only were they open farm, but of course those stats are gonna come in handy, and the DP dies barely, so probably maybe would have survived with those extra stats there. But yeah, one move showed that they are very confident on the hero, that they can play it on multiple positions, and Team Spirit just don't want to deal with it any longer, because now they got the constant output of magical damage to kill the Enchantress, but constant output of magical damage is not good for DP. You need burst, so you just get rid of it.
Yeah, and one move to take out the DK there as well. So maybe thinking that, you know, Spirit, if they're looking for this Primal Beast in the off lane, and they want to go for something that's a tower taker, the DK with the buff to the Meteor Hammer now as well. So the Dragon Tail gets the stun duration time for you to get the Meteor Hammer off. Good tower pusher as well with the Dragon Form anyway, so would be able to cause some havoc. And one move, they're just like, you know, again, big tanky heroes. You don't really have at the minute. I mean, you only have your supports, but maybe not looking towards those burst heroes that deal with the Dragon Knight. So at the minute, one move we just want to take it away. The anti-mage gets taken away as well from Spirit. So Yatoro not going to be able to play this in third and final, but Spirit, they take away the Tempest once again. They even take out the Ember Spirit, so no Ember Spirits for us. And just not going to be seeing that hero, because again, still a really strong hero like you were saying as well. The map not really changing. The hero is good throughout. It's a comfortable hero for people to sit on anyway. But we are going to see the Storm Spirit here for one move.
So they're the ones that go for the Storm relatively early, and you're up against the Rubik, so once you zip in, you could get lifted up. This is kind of dangerous, if you ask me. I think it gives a lot of chances for Spirit to respond, though when you look at the bans from one move, you could say that they prepared for it quite nicely. No AM, no puck. Like, is there a hero that really helps you deal with the Storm that well? Well, those two are at the top.
Would you... Yeah, no. The lockdown, obviously, the down through from the Mana Void onto the Storm Spirit mid-fights when he's out of a hell of a lot of mana, and the perk with the control with Dream Call before the Storm Spirit gets that BKB off. So in the mid lane, I mean, they don't have that final pick again. It's to one. They know what they're going to be playing up against in the mid lane. So are you looking for something that can match the aggression? You mentioned the Queen of Pain before. Maybe something like the Bat Rider that's still popular as well. Is that you want Team Spirit to look towards for Larl in this point?
Those two that you mentioned are actually quite nice. It's a lot of magical damage. Again, it's going to help you kill the Enchantress once she's invading your jungle, once she's being annoying. And they actually lane pretty well against the Storm Spirit. Later on, they might not be as good, but when it comes to the laning itself, you should do well, especially with the Bat Rider. You know, Storm can deal with the Bat, but you make one misstep with your Remnant, it gets hit by creeps, and he gets on top of you, then you really suffer.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit are taking the time to think about this here as well. So, maybe considering those heroes, or maybe even looking towards, again, you already know what you mid lane, so it isn't the worst time to pick up this mid laner here, or Spirit, if that's what you want to do.
They will. I think they will. They see the two supports, they see the mid laners, so anyone who's gonna be trafficking around the mid lane, you're gonna know about it. So you already know there's a Storm, and you already know there's two supports that are good at securing the rules, and they're gonna go for the Void Spirit. And I haven't seen Larl play this for a very long time. I don't know if he played it in Spirit at all, but it is actually quite a decent hero against Storm, especially when you have a Rubik. He lifts him up, you have the Yatoro, actually a solid amount of burst damage later on, so you can kill him. And your laning phase, yeah, Storm is good against melee heroes, but Void Spirit is this type of hero that doesn't really lose the lane.
Yeah, has the ways to, even if you can't go in for the last hits with the melee hit, he's got the ways to take the range creeps down, got the dive away as well. So the Void Spirit has some protection built in, like you say, not a melee hero in the sense of, oh, I like this. It's blast off. I love this up against the Storm Spirit. Before he gets that BKB, the long silence from the techies, how's the Storm Spirit going to be able to get away?
It's gonna be a tough one. I like that the techies is coming out. I don't remember if they played it, the Spirit played it on the major, but they didn't play it in the previous tour, the techies. And I watched one of their vlogs. If you guys don't know, they usually have vlogs when 1, 2, or 3 series have passed, and they show us like their thoughts, how they communicated and stuff like that. And Mira was asked, like, do you have any new heroes in position 4 that we're gonna see? And he was like, yeah, I don't really, because there are no position 4 new ones that are being played right now, though. And the guy was like, yeah, maybe you don't want to reveal. He's just like, I don't care, like, I have been trying out techies, so we are probably gonna be pulling that one out at some point. So I'm very glad that we're gonna be seeing it now.
And again, you've got the Team Spirit lineup set for this, the amount of control already with the pulverize, telekinesis, like I say, the remnant drag back from the Void Spirit there as well. Not only does it set up for the blast off from the techies, but you've got that area denial. The Monkey King, wants to come in, drop that Wukong command, but if you have these, the red mans coming down from the techies, the proxy mans, even the taser, if the Monkey King's coming close to chase you down. I mean, the taser's a little bit of a tricky one to get off because obviously the long timer on it, but the techies pickup, I really like this here. Again, more burst damage up against the Ench to try and get that quick kill onto the Ench before the nature's tendency to get too much of a heal out. So Spirit, good blow up potential on the draft so far.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
no high HP heroes on one move, really. They rely on surviving through physical damage, right? So they have a lot of armor, they are hard to hit, they are mobile, but if they get caught, they get blown up. So Team Spirit, they're gonna have a solid time. They're gonna ban out the Lycan and the Enigma, and really one move are in need of a hero that pushes the tower and controls the area, and those are the zoo heroes, but the Beastmaster is still in the pool, so you could go for that one if you want
5 seconds remaining.
And would you then, I mean, Team Spirit, what would you look to? I mean, again, Spirit don't have that last pick, so one move can respond to anything they pick up. So if you're looking at Yatoro's hero here, what are you thinking along the lines of for Team Spirit?
So Ursa would be okay, because you need a way to take Roche. That is good. Yep. If it was some other team, I never would have recommended this one, but Sven seems solid.
Okay.
Right? Because because you would have a nice way to run out of the Wukong's command while surviving with the war cry. That is the hero that he himself likes to play. The problem with both of those heroes is that they could be countered by something like, you know, Viper and stuff like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. But there, the Ursa is gonna be banned out.
Yeah, I'll move, take that away. Are you looking for something? Again, the Sven could suggest, but something that's got a stun. Well, yeah, I suppose the Sven does with but something that's got a stun that enables the techies in the
10 seconds remaining.
Assuming this is going to be the techies 5. So we see the slots already planned out, so there's no pounce, no lockdown there. Help the techies out. Is there something?
Morphling.
It's gonna be the Rubik laning with the morph, unless they want to put Mira, because I don't think Miposhka plays the techies. That's the thing. Yeah. So even though he's very versatile, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be Mira on the techies and Miposhka and Rubik, at least coming back to those vlogs they make and what Mira was saying. Morphling is just a solid hero when it comes to getting heroes down fast in terms of both physical and magical damage. And Team Spirit, they have magical damage, but they don't have physical damage, because that's where the Morphling kicks in. And he's not really a hero that gets easily countered in lane. You don't really think, oh, they're gonna pick this hero and the Morphling is gonna get crushed. No, not really. He's gonna be fine.
Okay, and one move, 30 seconds left. And looking for the offlaner, would you still, are you still leaning towards the Beastmaster, that tower take here up against the Morph in the lane?
I'd be fine with the Beast, but you can go either way. You can even go for a Mars, you can go for a Blink Initiator. I was not expecting that. It seems like every single time they see an agility hero, they want to go for the Darkseer, and yeah, I just haven't been given the confidence by Afterlife's Darkseer. He had a great performance in terms of 2 days ago, later on in the game, but he was still very much underfarmed. The way that I want to see a Darkseer being played out is that you get your first item and you're just buffing up everyone, you're running towards the enemies. But one move are gunning more for, let's get into the late game with the Darkseer, and I think that Team Spirit has a lineup to not allow that to happen. So that's why I'm kind of, not really feeling the Darkseer from one move. If Afterlife would have had better lanes in the past and better early mid game, I would be fine. But he just hasn't shown me that that currently he or his team in general are capable of making the game look like that. Later on, his spell usage on this hero is amazing, but you need to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the combo that one move have with the Wukong's command, the wall coming out of the vacuum. If you can get a good avalanche off, even if the Storm Spirit gets an Ags at some point there for the AoE Vortex. So if they can get all these, the synergy going on the fights and pull that off and get these heroes on the side of Spirit locked down, there is some good anchor potential here on the side of one move. Great fight potential with the wall, with that Wukong's command. But it's just whether they get to that point where they are going to be able to enable this fight. And meanwhile, on the side of Team Spirit, like you say, the control coming out, the amount of rotation of the Void Spirit as well, being able to rotate off the lane, get a quick kill, get himself back into the mid lane. There's no real tower threat I see from the side of one move, whereas on the side of Team Spirit, you've got the techies that can do a little bit. You've got the Morphing with the right click potential there as well, to try and do damage to the towers. So Spirit, if they can get a good start, which they might be aiming towards, I think they just take this game from under one move's feet.
We're kind of the same, late game it would be one move would be overwhelmingly strong, but early game Spirit should be able to take it. We'll see if one move can actually delay it this time as it did in the previous one.
Yeah, but before we get into it, guys, we do have a word from our sponsors over at EGB, so check it out.
Prepare for battle.
Сейчас поиграем.
Very good.
Сейчас поиграем.
Welcome back to the third and final of the first series, and we'll see how this one's going to kick off. We see, the smoke's coming through again. Gilgir just walks himself right up, sees Larl, throws out the high five, just teasing against the Void Spirit. But is there any lanes? Oh, in fact, there's actually going to dive in from Collapse here. He wants to come straight in with the onslaught, so not even going to go for the trample at level 1. Might put himself in a really bad position, though. The wall is down. They have the vision over the Primal Beast, but Primal Beast, he's pretty tanky himself with the 4 armor here as well. He's got himself that wind lace, so he's got that extra movement speed and just looking to, again, keep himself away. And it looks like the disengage comes out, so In terms of lanes, coming into this third and final game, how are you expecting them to go?
It's not going to be easy for Spirit, right? You need to be patient if you're Spirit. That's the case. So the first couple of levels should be top lane relatively even. Everybody farms bottom lane, collapse, and Mira resort to shenanigans and harass Munkushi. So you can't really say how the lanes will go. At like 4 minutes, we'll see if Spirit are able to keep their composure until like 4 minutes and then strike on this bottom lane. I think that's the best they should be gunning for. But overall, the real action in this game starts with second, third power rune when the Spirits start moving, when Larl and Ainkrad start moving around the map. Because both of these guys want to be slightly greedy, and then with the second or third power rune, that is when we'll see the things start to break apart. But it should be relatively, you know, patient with constant pokes and harasses, not really big engagements.
Yeah, and you can see the odds on the screen. EGB do still favor Team Spirit here. A little bit of a boost though on the odds for one move, and in fact, you know, Team Spirit I think last game was close to just straight up 1-1. So a little bit on Team Spirit that maybe one move, maybe they do get the edge, and you know, just under 4 for one move in terms of odds. So EGB show what they think of this match, and yeah, I still think that the fight potential from Team Spirit, I mean, I said that last game as well, Remnant actually doesn't connect onto Ainkrad, but the fight potential, I think Spirit can get going a little bit quicker. But like you say, in the late game, one move, if they find the items, there's no reason they can't be winning these fights.
It depends. Spirit doesn't have constant output of damage without the Morphling. They only have burst. So let's say if the Darkseer would get an early mech in this game, early pipe or something along those lines, and he prevents his heroes from dying, then early fights could go for one move. And that is what I'm saying. That is how I like the Darkseer to be played, and what I'm kind of hoping for Afterlife.
Mid lane though, you can see that on the top, Larl is taking a whole lot of damage if we look at his health bar here. In the bottom lane, it looks like, I mean, Collapse is doing all right. He has to worry about the right clicks coming in from Munkushi again. Munkushi with the Jingu Mastery trying to proc that off. And Collapse, he just has to be careful about how far forward he does come in. But he will be able to get himself away with the onslaught, because unless the balance strike comes out from the Monkey King, there's nothing to stop Collapse from just being able to run himself away. Okay, so Larl picked the Void Spirit into a storm, and he's getting demolished. Sure, the storm is stronger than melee heroes, but this is a little bit too much for a hero like a Void Spirit, who always has a spells to secure a creep, and he only has 8 compared to the 16 of the storm. Yeah, and like I said in the draft, yeah, the Resonant Pulse just to try and secure those range creeps, but it looks like at the minute, Ainkrad, he knows this. He's just looking to get aggressive with the Vortex coming out of the remnants there as well, and Larl, he's taking so much punishment coming out from the Storm Spirit in this mid lane. So not skilling up the point to dissimulate means that if he gets dragged back by the Vortex, even with the 2 points here into the Resonant Pulse, just has to walk himself on foot and get himself away while taking right clicks and magic damage from Ainkrad.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons Storm is so good. Oh, yeah. Actually, top lane, Tiny's in trouble. He's gone.
Yeah, Yatoro picked up the first blood, and it's just a quieter further as the telekinesis comes out. Fadeball not even throughout to secure the kill, because they did want to give it over to the Morphling, and he was just easily able to right click down onto Gilgir. So just getting caught out of position there on the Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, one move can easily talk themselves out of this one, guys. Last time, Yatoro, 5 minutes in, he has 5 kills. We beat him easily. Let's at least give him 2 or 3 so that this guy has a chance.
Yeah,
I don't really think that kind of a disrespect for a TI winner is going to work out. But you know, at least they can say it between themselves.
Yeah. Just looking on the map as well, because it's not an area we're going to be paying that much attention to. But if we look at the bottom right, just in the Radiant Jungle where the outpost is, the wards being shown here, we saw the rotation from the techies into the mid lane, and the Ench sent the Dominator creep, the Enchanted Creeper, one of the Satyrs, just to shadow the techies, because it was being like say on the heels of the techies. You were looking to get the rotation onto Ainkrad, because Ainkrad wasn't looking super healthy here. Got those tangos off, got the bottle charge off there as well. But if he'd got the blast off, Larl might have been able to get a kill onto the Storm Spirit. So a really good heads up play there from the Ench, just to shadow the techies with the creep that he got from the Enchantress.
Yeah, I mean, they planted the wars towards the bottom lane. They know there's not going to be any rotations coming from top, so they're making sure that they can spot any kind of things coming out from Mira, because he's going to be the one securing the runes. He's going to be the one coming over.
Yeah, and you can see it again in the bottom lane. In terms of farm, in fact, Miposhka on the top lane is going to take a lot of damage here from Gilgir, and Gilgir, does he have the potential for the kill here? He doesn't have any points into the avalanche, and Miposhka is trying to keep himself safe here, waiting for his spells to cool down now as well. But the right click's coming out from Gilgir just onto the Rubik. Rubik just needs to move himself right back underneath that tier 1 tower, still taking some punishment here from the Tiny.
But big thing that happened for Team Spirit is that both water runes went towards them, so that's gonna allow the Void Spirit to stay even with the storm from now on. Of course, there is already a lead that has been established, but he's not gonna allow that one to increase.
No, and you can see as well the Wildling Ripper coming out. I love the active for the Hurricane on the Wildling Ripper. Just being able to get the drag back, you know, especially when you're using something like the Enchantress, dragging back into enchant range now as well. You go for another one because the Monkey King, they're going to be catching up, looking for the kill onto the Techies. The Techies gets that quick blast off, dragging himself away here. Mira not going to get the support from the Void, but it looks like they're going to give up the kill onto the Techies.
That was half a second from him dying, right? If the Boundless Strike connects while he's readying for the jump, it's a problem, but he does get himself away. Once you get into the jump, even if the Boundless Strike connects, it's not going to be a problem.
Miposhka might have gone a little bit too far here. The vacuum back, and yeah, he was red misting, looking for that kill though. You know, just the absolute... Want to kill. He was certainly going to be able to get it. It was a little bit too far, and Billy just breaks vision here. Absolutely great vacuum back, able to get a kill underneath the tier 1 tower.
Larl's in trouble.
He have the damage. The Sunlight comes out, trying to keep him alive with the Centaur. Or he can be able to close the gap here, and yeah,
and the bonus.
That one. Mira goes down for free afterwards. And Miposhka, he just has to play away after this.
Having a Centaur 1400 HP creep that almost never dies to the tower, just constantly takes those hits. It allows you to dive away, won't move. Beautifully done there. They understand that they're stronger here, that the supports are stronger, and they're going for more.
Yeah, Miposhka stepped up, got the deny on the regen room, but that just opened the window there. Ainkrad, maybe not with the mana that, you know, he would have got back from the regen room, might have been able to get the kill into Miposhka there, but just had to stop a little bit short of the kill onto the Rubik.
I still have to praise Collapse and Yatoro. The way that they are farming in this one is insane, especially Collapse. He went for a Windlace boost. Those were his first 2 items just to keep himself away from the Monkey King, and it allows him to just CS so nicely. So beautifully done by him to actually be ahead of the Monkey King, a lane that he definitely should have lost.
Oh, Munkushi, he's going to have that salve. It did get cancelled off, yeah. Tried to be cheeky with the mischief there, but the bomb coming through from the Techies does cancel off the salve, and yeah, the Windlace as well, as well as the phase boots, just optimizes the damage that he can put out on the trample. So it's just an easy way to kill a Pantonem. Not sure about Munkushi, obviously with the Jingu Mastery coming out from him as well as the Boundless Strike, but it is an easy way, or a more efficient way to get the kill onto the Ench in this laning stage.
Okay, Collapse is level 6 and he wants to go forward. They know Storm doesn't have enough resources.
Yeah, and well, the Boundless Strike comes out. There's going to be the rotation coming out from him. Goes that blast off, does connect.
Again.
I think we're going to get the kill. Yeah, the Pulverize comes through now as well. The trample damage. Collapse will be able to take down the Monkey King Munkushi. Even inside the trees, just wasn't able to get away. Just because of the massive gap close coming out from Collapse.
That was just beautiful, knowing that the Storm is half HP, half mana, and that he cannot assist. And then they just bring in Miposhka to go for the kill. This bottom lane is really what's destroying one move here completely, because it shouldn't have gone like this, but it did.
Yeah, and again, going all the way back to the last tour, I think you rarely ever saw, even if he didn't outright win the lane, you know, he Collapse rarely lost the lane. And you're just taking that consistency through into this next tour as well. But you can see that, like you say, that Yatoro, he's pressuring behind the tier 1. If you take a look on the map, pressuring behind the tier 1, so he's having a great time on the lane as well. And now the Storm Spirit will be rotating in. Do they get the kill into Yatoro here now as well? He's got that waveform if he needs to get himself away, but Ainkrad is just going to try and catch up. And Gilgir coming in with the avalanche to toss back again. With the shapeshift Morphlin, with the shapeshift. Is he going to be able to get Yatoro? No, the drag back. He get the kill, and yeah, the attribute shift wasn't enough to keep him alive.
He just gets taken down there.
Radiant's
You just
bottom
have so
tower
much
is
chase
under
on the one move lineup. I thought that Team Spirit are gonna start mass DPing, but I'm pretty maybe Yatoro made a call. Oh, I'm out. They can't kill me. What the hell are they doing?
Dire's
But
top
that
tower
was
is
it was
under
pretty
attack.
obvious that they're gonna run him down. It's gonna take a long time, but eventually he's gonna die.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
and
is under attack.
well, while this is going on, Larl's finding some farm. The Monkey King in the mid lane now as well. Munkushi, what does he want to do stepping up? Because the Monkey King, yeah, Larl, does he actually have a go here up against Munkushi? No, he doesn't. Not with the two supports being here now as well to support him. So Larl, he goes for that dive, but he needs to be really darn careful. The balance strike comes out. Gilgir was rotating himself away towards that top lane, but with Pantonem protecting here, Monkey King should be fine. In fact, they might even try and go for the kill. The Simulate comes out, and Larl, he's looking for the retreat now as well. The Astral Step, so he will be able to get himself out of danger.
Pantonem waiting for the enchant. He wants to remove the haste, but
Yeah.
Larl, really nice presence of mind not to go for that one, to keep it up there and just use his Astral Step into the Simulate to get himself out.
Yeah, into it. Actually, Pantom's going to be taking a lot of damage now as well. Larl just backs himself away, doesn't want to commit to the kill. Like you say, the enchant coming up with that purge onto the haste, but he was already ways away for that to be. It's a little bit of a bonus here for the edge, but not a massive impact that you would expect if he was close towards the Radiant Tier 1.
Oh, this is just not looking good for one move right now, and the reason is all because of the side lanes. The Storm needs to move, and he would much rather be in the mid lane.
Look at the good to get the kill from the techies though. Techies with the taser, so they get the disarm off. They might be able to get a revenge kill. Ainkrad, he wants to carry on going, forcing it away. So Gilgir will survive. But like you say, Collapse, he just takes complete control of the bottom lane. He's got his drums, he's got his boots, he's taken the tier 1 tower, and he just puts the Monkey King in a really awkward position in this lane.
Yep, what Spirit is doing right now is that they know in the side lanes in the 1v1 scenario they're winning. So if someone moves from the mid lane, they strike. If they come to the mid lane, their other two cores are farming so well. So it's a bulletproof plan currently.
Yeah, and we'll see what they want to do here. The smoke coming out, they might be looking for the kill onto Collapse, but Collapse still doing a lot of damage for Pantonem before this fight even starts. I mean, the jumping from the Storm Spirit, they might be able to get themselves on top. Mira's still going to be close now as well. Does he want to back up his teammate if he needs to? He's looking for the speed. He's looking
No mana.
Yeah, and Ainkrad, he dove a little bit too far. The taser won't connect. But Sticky Bomb, that won't connect either. Ainkrad just has to walk himself away.
Oh, they're so helpless, and it comes down to the Darkseer at this point. He has one item, but he's just not nearly strong enough to buff up his team to that point. And look at it. All the lanes are being pressured by Team Spirit. Again, they're going for Yatoro.
Yeah, really good jump in now as well with the avatars. Do they have enough? The waveform out, but with the Storm Spirit not being here, being able to get the drag back, there's just not enough to control, and there won't be a vacuum wall being dropped this time here to get the kill onto Yatoro.
One move supports need to get some hate onto them, right? Pantonem needs to be somewhere in the enemy's face. This is the thing though, there is enough burst damage from Spirit to kill him, but he needs to be able to get the aggression away from the bottom lane tier 2, from the top lane tier 1, because with every single one of your towers being pressured, your supports are not getting anything anyway, so it's much better that they're dying and enemies using some resources and TPs than you just, you know, doing nothing.
Yeah, and you can see that Larl, he's even going to be able to know the deny. It comes through from the Wildwing Ripper, so really good there. Again, I haven't said how much I like this Hurricane here on the Wildwing, but
no.
Larl, he's found a way to recover, you know, with the teammates rotating in, helping him in this mid lane, and he's found the space. He's not rotating off to match the rotation of the Storm Spirit just yet, but he has found that recovery in the mid lane. Telekinesis comes out, the stun, it actually connects onto the Storm Spirit here as well. Now, Primal Beast, he wants to come in, he's got that full rise if he needs to get it off there as well. But he's just waiting out the avalanche because he doesn't have the BKB just yet. Now, even further forward, now, Tiny with the top back onto the Morphlin. Doesn't matter, they get the kill. Oh, do they? The pulverize, that last tick, it would have connected, it would have been enough to get the kill. And Storm Spirit, just the interrupt coming out was enough to keep the Storm Spirit alive.
Gilgir started off a rock fight, but the enemies just had more rocks to throw, it seems like.
It's coming back and forth here now as well. Miposhka, he's even spawned that avalanche. He's going to be able to toss it out for the interrupt on the interrupt. But this means the tier 1 tower, it will go down. Even through the fortification, you know, either through a deny or a last hit, it will go down one way or the other.
Larl is in trouble in the mid lane. Has one step.
Yeah, Ainkrad though, he wants to carry on diving in. Is this enough time and space though for the TPs to come through? I think if Ainkrad, if he'd had the mana for it, one more remnant, he gets the kill there. But again, just to overextend it a little bit with no mana.
at least the status quo is broken. The Primal Beast isn't in the bottom lane any longer, right? Techies was staying there. Mira was trying to force out that lane, but overall, with the status quo being broken, you can at least get the same amount of farm and stop the bleeding. And what one move want to do is continue fighting on the top lane. That's why it's so important that Spirit got that tower down. This is just looking like an amazing start for Spirit. Even though kills are saying 5-2, Spirit are in absolute complete control of the map, of the gold, of everything.
Yeah, and once the Collapse gets his BKB out now as well, because he's already got himself the Ogre, so in fact, they're going to be able to find a jump onto Pantonem. Pantonem can't get himself away from this one. Absolutely no way. Ainkrad at least gets the regen rune, but it's going to be cancelled off. Yeah, he didn't have it bottled, so the Techies just cancels it off.
Yeah, he just got annoyed that none of the runes went his way, and like, I'm gonna take this one. It lasts for 0 seconds. Ainkrad has only gotten one bounty rune in this game, and that's sorry, one water rune, and that's it. Like, I don't know if he got any bounties, but it's obviously a disaster. This bottle of his hasn't done nothing.
No. And yeah, what I was saying about Collapse here, he's got that Ogre Axe. They're even going to be able to make another dive in once again, getting the kill onto Pantonem. And that was out the Pulverize being used. So once the BKB Pulverize is up, how do you really stop this on the side of one move? Because Collapse, he's just going to run right over you and then keep you in place while the rest of the team burst you down.
You don't. You now need the blink on the Tiny. Gilgir needs to get that one fast, and that's why they're targeting him. You destroyed this timing, you've destroyed everything that one move has.
And I don't know if you saw that there as well on the top lane. Yatoro just able to get the waveform off on the balance track bottom lane. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Gilgir. Gilgir, no way out of that. And trading off, you know, taking the aggro here, Yatoro on the top lane, just opens up the space for Spirit to rotate around and get a kill onto Gilgir in the bottom part of the map.
Oh, Spirit are systematically taking away everything that one move can do. They crush the top tier 1 tower. That's where one move want to fight. It's over. They crushed the lanes. That's one move wanted the lanes to go longer, but they wanted to be farming close to the enemy heroes. They weren't doing it. They wanted to control the runes. Spirit control the runes, and now Blink Dagger on the Tiny, the one thing that will allow you to make plays. They're going for that as well. One move. If I was on their side, I wouldn't really know what to do right now. You have to get that Blink on the Tiny, but he has become a target.
Yeah, no, and you can see that he needs about another 1,000 gold before he's going to be supposed to get now more to 900. But Storm Spirit in the mid lane, again, just trying to create some space, find some farm, because there wasn't a major response in the mid lane, but now they're actually going to get the drive back on Pantonem. Pantonem can survive through this as well with the nature's damage they want to go to, and they get the kill, they get the damage onto Miposhka, but Miposhka, does he survive? He doesn't. He does get the kill in the end. Ainkrad, though, not a lot of mana left, and there's going to be jump in now as well with the chase, and you can see the double trample damage coming through onto Afterlife as well as Pantonem. Pantonem to survive through this. The vacuum back into the wall with the backlines. Yatoro is going to be able to get the kill on Pantonem's courier, and they do take down Pantonem more than a second after, but it will be the kill though. Afterlife trying to run himself away. The Munkushi man comes out, but Collapse running himself through. They do still get the kill. Gilgir with the tree toss takes down the Primal Beast, and Yatoro now as well needs to run himself away from this.
There's the power of the Darkseer and his first item, the pipe, coming into play. Team Spirit, because of how much stronger they are in terms of network, and they feel it in levels in everything, that they can go forward, they overextend, and they don't get those kills. They got greedy. They wanted everybody to die. In the end, they only kill one hero, and that is what cost them, because they'll lose 3 in the process.
Yeah, at least the Morphlin survives through that, so the Morph's still going to be able to get himself up. Pantonem, though, the Centaur Stump comes out onto Yatoro, just to rub it in his face.
Yeah, poor Morphling. Yeah, now you might pay for it.
Yeah, does he come back? I mean, Gilgir's going to be here. He's going to be able to get the Tumblers toward the Avalanche. Charles coming through now as well. Yatoro with the attribute shift. He's going to blast off coming through from the techies. The proximity lines down. It's not even going to be needed. Yatoro gets the kill. They even take down Pantonem. So, yeah, you tease Yatoro with the Centaur and the stuff coming through, but you will pay for it.
Looking for me?
I mean, Miposhka is playing with his life. Yeah, well, he has overplayed it.
Yeah.
You're up against the Darkseer and the Storm, both of which can get you off the trees, and you're just jumping forward. I think when he saw the Storm, he's like, at that moment, he knew he fucked up, you know? So just let's go forward. Let's just create as much space as we can.
Yeah, he just accepts his fate and just says, you know what? Yeah, no, you deserve it. You've earned this kill. I'm not even going to try and, telekinesis or anything like that to try and get away. But Ainkrad in the bottom lane. Did he want to try and go Mira? He's got that taser once again. Oh, it doesn't connect with the blast off. Now it might actually put Mira in a little bit of trouble. Ainkrad with the damage to kill the Avatar comes through. Or just the toss this time. But they do still get the kill onto Mira.
And it's gonna be the tiny blink dagger coming soon. So one move, they're gonna get their chances to play the game. Spirit makes a couple of small mistakes that allows one move now to have a play. It's still not a good position for them, but they will have a potential for an aggressive play now, which allows them to play Dota.
Structures are
And
fortified.
if that blast off with the taser had connected, you know, Yatoro probably dives in, they probably get the kill onto the Storm Spirit, but like you say, just that little bit of an overextension there from the techies, not connecting. Calculated, but it didn't pay off this time, and they were able to turn around and get the kill onto the
Radiant's
techies.
middle tower is under attack.
I'm not even sure that... It's still a tier 2, 18 minutes in, you know, it's dangerous if Yatoro goes for a waveform in. I don't know if you get out. So that's what I'm afraid of. The chase potential in one move is pretty strong, and you never know if Storm Spirit maybe has a buyback at that point. He buys back, he cleans out 2 of your heroes because you're bleeding. I'm not sure. I didn't like the play to begin with.
Okay, well, looking at the odds from EGB, they do still favor Team Spirit, like you say, even though the kills go in favor of one move. The net worth is from Spirit, but is that going to last a lot longer? One move, yeah. They're going to go for the smoke. Yatoro's going to be there, and it's going to be the jump in. They get the dive onto the Morphling. Who's going to get a kill now? As well, the last one comes out. He's going to try and get the waveform away. The wall has been dropped, and he might be able to take the kill. They do take down Gilgir. The Command's going to be there, but nobody's trapped inside it now as well. You see Team Spirit just running themselves away, looking for that reset away from the wall, away from the Wukong's command. And this means it's going to be down. If they take a good fight here, Spirit, it could open up the Roach Pit as well.
Or maybe the tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
Let's see how they feel. Actually, they don't feel confident enough with 4 heroes being alive. Collapse is going in.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the backup now as well. He needs to get himself away. The vacuum doesn't connect to the pulverize. He used it onto the Monkey King. Wasn't enough damage. He had to get himself away with the onslaught.
Team Spirit, you know, a little bit too close for comfort every single time there. If Collapse gets pulled back with the vacuum, I'm not sure he gets out of that one alive. Maybe he could go for an instant TP, but, you know, Storm was around the mid lane. Maybe he can get there in time. Who knows? So I'm getting a bit scared here for Spirit. One more overextension and one move might get completely back into the game. And Spirit are always so close to overextending quite a lot.
Yeah, no, this is it. They do play, you know, as close to that line as possible without stepping over it. And sometimes they do just get pushed over it by the other team here. And you can see the Yatoro on the bottom part of the map looking to farm. But there is 3 heroes grouped up from one move. So they might look for this jump. Like you said, the Blink Dagger is here for Gilgir. If they get a good engage, they could look for a pickoff. But you can see that Spirit, yeah, playing it safe this time. Just backing themselves away in the mid lane.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed. There's an Axe on the Void Spirit. There's a BKB on the Primal Beast. Now, no matter where you fight, no matter how you fight, Spirit are winning. One move have to run.
Smoke breaks. Are they going to try and jump in with the onslaught? It's actually going to be the Astral They get the catch with the runner now as well. Onslaught comes in. The trample damage onto Pantonem. Pantonem, he's just going to disappear.
He's gone. And you're probably looking for more. One move need to get out. So the way that you play now, if you're one move, you have to be on the aggressive. You have to force out those BKB charges on the aggressive, lose one hero to get yourself out and hope for a good re-engagement of the Darkseer, or if Spirit are okay with 1 kill for using their 9-8 second BKB charge or something along those lines, then you're fine with it.
Yeah, and they do get that mid-tier 1 tower here with the Gilgir step onto the side though, because you want to go for jumping the iron shells on him. It looks like he wants to not jump with the rest of the team Spirit are. So they all, in fact, yeah, whatever the rest of the team Spirit are, because they have one that spots them out. The thing's coming through here, so they might just make this jump happen.
Spirits is everything. They have a ward in the enemy triangle and they're controlling the bottom part of the map, so they see everything. Good thing for one move is this one ward in the bottom lane that now saw Spirit run away. Now that mine exploding, that is a big thing that's gonna reveal to Spirit where their enemies are.
Yeah, they might still go. The jump, they're going to be able to get the kill onto the Rubik. Yes, they do. The Balmer Strike Munkushi will be able to clean that one up, so at least they get something out of it now as well. But Larl, he actually wants to get himself in to simulate the Astral Step through as well. BKB, Gilgir, he's going to go down. The backline's wall's been dropped. Yatoro needs to get himself outside the Wukong's command, but the backline's in for the Storm Spirit. Pulverize comes through, and they get the kill. They take down Yatoro with Yatoro gets the double. They take down that Storm, and did he want to try and look to re-engage? Even with the wall being down, even with the Wukong's command, they weren't off now. Munkushi just needs to get himself away from this.
Larl got stuck with the dissimulate. If he hadn't, he is going to be going down. The timing of Team Spirit right now is just too big. They have 2 9-second BKBs, and you know they have the Ags on the Void Spirit. You're not winning that fight.
Yeah, and it looks like Primal Beast. In fact, Munkushi, what was stolen from him there as well? It's just looks like it's going to be the Tree Dance, yeah, into the Primal Spring, which is still nice for the Rubik, you know, to be able to close that gap, get some vision down there as well, and get a telekinesis off when you least expecting it. Maybe like onto Pantonem in his triangle.
This could be time for Miposhka to buy a gem. Right now, that could be the case, because taking vision away from one move, it's gonna make sure that they have nothing to do yet again.
Yeah, and Collapse, he's got that BKB. He's not even used it yet. Still 9 seconds on that BKB here for the Primal Beast.
Yep, no reason for him. He understands that the enemies don't really do that much physical damage at this point, and are not going to be doing it for quite some time. So you can definitely be very conservative with your BKB, and I'm liking that he is going for that kind of route.
Yeah. Oh, in the river though, Mira is going to be the target of that toss. It's just going to be a straight toss up into the air. So Gilgir will be able to get the kill, but while that's going on, I mean, Larl, he does the damage, he takes down the Storm, and now Larl needs to back himself away, has an actual step, he needs to. Yatoro caught in the wall, going to be slowed down by the Ancient as well. And with the Wukong command coming out, the backing going to be used now as well, but Yatoro just gets himself out with one waveform, he's away. And he can look to disengage if he wants to on the side of Team Spirit. Yeah, Larl, again, one more actual step. Ronan gets dropped, gets himself down to the low ground. Gonna go for that TP, nothing to interrupt. No, not close there. Munkushi, the Boundless Strike still on cooldown, so they weren't able to stop that TP away from Larl.
Well, Larl didn't want the Morphling to get chased down. They didn't want them to force out his 8-second BKB, so he went to the left, right? Even though he could have went to the right Astral Step, probably no one chases him, but there is a chance if him and the Morphling are next to each other running towards the base, that the enemies continue, they catch them with the next round of spells and kill him. So I really like the play there coming out from him.
Yeah, how's the Monkey King doing? Going towards the Desolator after the Echo Saber. Again, 9-second BKB there as well for Munkushi, so it's not looking too bad as Rubik just continues to have a little bit of fun here with Tree Dance.
Whenever the game is not going well and you have a Monkey King, you have to go for it. So it's your best damage item, right? Ideally, if you're doing well, you're not going to do it, but Team Spirit now, they're going to catch him.
Oh, no, the BKB comes out, so he's going to be able to dodge off the runner. Monty's going to be a little bit of trouble. The right clicks come through. You get the kill onto the Rubik, but Gilgir will pay the price there. And it did mean that it's going to be the BKB active. That 9-second BKB there for the Monkey King will be used.
It's under attack.
It's a 9-second BKB and a 1-for-1. And also, you're going to be walking into the Roach. Without the Wukong's command, one move, their ability to defend this, well, it's very limited. They will have the wall, but until that point, the Roach is most likely going to die. Morphling is a pretty solid hero to take it down.
Yeah, you can see the Pantonem trying to scout it out as much as possible here with the Dark Troll Summoner, but he just cleaned that up immediately. Trample Dance come through now as well, and Roshan, yeah, they're grouping around it, and one move, they're not even looking to pretend to contest onto this.
They can't do much. Your carry is not a hero. You do have a Wukong's command, but you're never gonna get into a good spot because you know that the enemies have so much vision in your triangle. So nice call from one move to just let it go.
Yeah, Monkey King actually queuing up the Scar. No, okay. He did buy out one of the Mithril Hammers. He had that Scotty queued up, but like you say, yeah, he wants to go in for that Desolator. Meanwhile, Yatoro, how's he looking? He wants to go towards, it looks like the Hurricane Pike for the Morphling.
You are playing against the wall, you are playing against the Wukong's command, so you want to have a little bit more mobility. So I definitely like it.
Yeah, and we saw in that last one as well, like you say, that he was able to get himself away, but with the edge slow, you know, there was the avalanche that maybe comes out if he doesn't want to use that BKB. Just be able to Hurricane Pike yourself out of danger. Collapse now. He's going to use that BKB. It looks like finally to get himself out of this. If you want to try and re-engage, he's going to be diving well as well with the silence. Maybe trying to go on to Pantonem and Tech. He's coming through, dropping those mines, but they've got a lot of damage here. On to Larl. Larl, can he get himself out with a Dissimulate? Once again, the Astral Step comes through. With a taste out from Ainkrad. Ainkrad has that BKB. They want to carry on going now as well. The Yulstep comes out and Larl eventually will he go down? Yes, he will. Munkushi picks up that kill, but Mira blast off there, and Seki just gets himself out, and they only get the kill onto Larl.
Oh, Larl, spell usage there was so great. He left the remnant, heals himself up. Ainkrad loses the BKB, and he almost gets out because he got given a mech as well, but that wasn't enough.
Oh, Yatoro, he steals the Monkey King's fall. He's going to do a strike, doing the damage even through the BKB there as well. It was just way too much. Munkushi won't survive, and Yatoro wants to carry on going. The chase down the mobility being offered by the Tree Dancers. He's going to be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, in the river, do they take that Collapse? Collapse will go down with his BKB being down here. And Yatoro just trying to do what he can with the monkey bomb to catch up with the tree dance, with the balance strike as well. He gets the balance strike off onto the edge. Does he have the damage to get the kill? The waveform now as well. The both have Pantonem looking for that TP, but the adaptive strike, it gets thrown out. Yatoro gets the kill. Triple kill there.
That's the reveal of the Aghanim Scepter. So you finish that one off first. The actually it was already flying to him when we were talking about the Hurricane Pike. Whenever you're playing against a agility hero and you take his form away, not only do you cripple him, but you give yourself 70 attacks and also 20% of your enemy's agility. So that just makes the Morphling an insane right clicker.
Yeah, and he wasn't scared about getting involved in that there as well. He did still have that Aegis. So, like you said, he was just in and around the... wanted to get into the fracks and do the damage where he could, and triple kill coming out from Yatoro. Just the mango's coming out now as well. But that extra mana, he's looking really big at the minute. And Munkushi, how he's got that Desolate to going towards the Skadi, you know, how do one move try and play around this Morphling though?
Well,
Radiant's top tower is
one
under
move.
attack.
What they're waiting for now is the blink on Afterlife. This is kind of the item that gave him the victory in their first series they played in the tournament, with the combo of the Tiny and the Darkseer. So they're coming to a point where they're gonna be very strong in team fights, despite Yatoro countering the monkeying and still inside of the Wukong's command. Those monkeys are gonna hurt.
Yeah, T2 tower being pressured here though. What are they gonna be able to catch out? It was just an illusion.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, they destroyed it. They destroy the collapse illusion. It's still no chance, but now they know exactly where they are.
And the enchant just disappears about as quickly as that illusion from collapse did. So this opens up, and the fortification will be used here from the start of one move. There are still tier 2 towers on the sidelines as well, which it looks like those are Team Spirit next objectives.
I'm actually surprised the Team Spirit didn't buy a gem in this one, because the vision of one move is still allowing them to have some kind of a presence outside of the map and go for hunting. And Team Spirit, the way that they have been systematically taking away everything from one move, I thought that was going to be their next approach.
Yeah. I mean, well, maybe. I mean, they could still go for that if they wanted to. Void just pushing out the top lane, but do you put it? I mean, oh God, Primal Beast, he's got himself the Boots of Burn here as well. I was gonna say, do you put it? Get a gem on the Primal Beast, or do you want to just be putting that onto maybe the Rubik that is going to be sitting back?
It doesn't matter. Oh, Storm jumps in with the BKB.
One cube back as well into the wall as well. The Wukong's man comes out. I think it is kill onto Yatoro. Last one team something in the middle of it. The Pulverize coming through with the BKB. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to buyback from the techies. Yatoro gets low, but again, he still has the Aegis for the next 27 seconds. So he's just saying, yeah, okay, come in and kill me. Just let me refresh, get himself right back into this fight. And they do take down 2. They even get the kill onto Afterlife. The drive back now as well. Gilgir getting himself away, but through the jumping here from Yatoro. He's got that Vortex with that Storm Spirit form, and Gilgir's going to get really darn low. Is they end up getting the kill though? Gilgir, they get the kill. They might be low, a little bit overextended. They got Aegis, so Yosef comes out. Did he get it to Larl? But the Dissimulate trying to get himself away from this good. Gilgir, the cheese down now as well, but no, he's got himself the ghost set. There's going to be another Pulverize. Beautiful techies. They're absolutely cleaning up here. 4 heroes and the buyback Gilgir, the only one left alive. And I think this is going to be at least 1 lane of racks, right? Did he even just go straight for the tier 4s with these heroes being dead?
No, you don't do it. That's too much. You're gonna get a lane of racks and you get a tier 2 on the bottom lane. Those are the objectives that you're gunning for if you're Team Spirit currently. You got a perfect fight. You're not gonna throw this game away. Yatoro? Okay, he just turns into the Tiny to make sure that he has the status. But if you continue showing your supports and they die, then maybe you just lose the game here.
Yeah, no, the driveback comes out here. Pantonem trying to do the best with the nature to tend to keep himself alive, but the Pulverize comes out. The damage is going to be way too much. Even with... Is it going to be... No, it is. It's going to be able to get the kill. And I was looking there at maybe, you know, trying to keep himself alive, but it doesn't matter. Darkseer wasn't even able to get him close to the Guardian Greaves. And they do just clean up a lane of racks and back themselves away. Double damage unit on the bottom part of the river here as well. Will be spotted by the courier.
While this was happening, Afterlife TP'd to the bottom lane and pushed out that big wave there. So he made sure that their tier 2s still survive. The Spirit of course are gonna have a connection towards the top part of the map, but it's that tier 2 is not that important. It gives some kind of an access point to Roche from one move, but not really a great one.
Yeah, and look at this Yatoro. He's got himself a double damage rune. He's getting close to that Titanic collapse. He's looking for the jump in. Who did he actually catch out? Ooh, nobody. But Ainkrad's going to be making the move. He has the Boots of Burn, has those available to him if he wants to use the BKB as well. So So Primal Beast going towards that Hex next.
Darkseer Blink. That is one thing that that Spirit might need to be afraid of. And immediately there's a smoke from one move. It was under vision and they know it. So it's very hard to make a decision right now if you're one move. Do we go forward or do we back?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they want to carry on going for it. They might be able to get the catch out onto Larl and Mira moving themselves away here. And yeah, Void Spirit is going to go. Dive comes in now. He's on the pulverize. Is going to be there without the BKB though, and now collapse. He's going to go for it. The Wukong's command doesn't come out, but Munkushi is crushing, taking way too much damage. Yeah, Yatoro with the double damage rune. He's going to be able to take the Monkey King down. Absolutely no problems. Double kill here for the Morphlin. They can carry on going for even more if they want to. Tiny in the trees, but it doesn't matter. The toss away. They still get the kill. They still have the damage, and they still take him down.
Oh, unfair amount of damage coming out from the Morphling. You're inside of your Wukong's command. You think, oh, I have 24 bonus armor. He has a billion damage, my friend. He just rips you apart. Look at him. He almost has 700 damage. It's insane. And the attack speed, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, and he got the Satanic while that fight was going on as well. So if he did get into real danger, he was able to pop that and heal himself right back up if he needed to. And again, 3 heroes dead on the side of one move. Collapse already in the base. He's already looking, hunting for more. He gets that. No, the vacuum comes out. They'll be able to get full pulverize out onto the stones where it doesn't matter. Larl still gets the kill with the E-Blade. They do the damage. They take down 4 heroes on the side of one move. And this looks like it's going to be a second lane of racks here for the side of Spirit.
I mean, one move they still had this team fight, which was shown that... I mean, Spirit, you can see Morphling has a bottle. He's gonna find another DD if you allow this to go any longer, and he's gonna crush you. But Spirit actually have no reason to get out of the base. They probably want to stay here, force out maybe a spell or two, and then reset, get the Roche. If you would be able to force out the wall in the enemy base, then Roche is free.
Already, you see that in the top part now, Miposhka already starting to push out this lane. He's already looking towards that tier 2 tower. He's already setting up his teammates to you'll be able to get that so quickly. Prioritize this. Maybe look for... I mean, how far... Roche, yeah, 5 seconds away. They can't set up for this. Hero drops a proxy mine, so there's going to be the run there as well. They're going to have the vision. And how did one move? Can they even contest into this?
I kind of feel like they have to. Waiting on the high ground is not great with the Monkey King. You don't have many places to hide, and it's going to be very easy for your opponents to know where you are. So if I was them, I'd run in there, even though it means that you're going to lose the fight to lose the game. You have 1% chance of winning. Once the Roche falls, that falls to almost 0.
Okay, and we'll see. I mean, this is only the second Roche, 35 minutes in, so it's going to be the shard from out for Roche. Do you give this over to Miposhka? It looks like Yatoro already has his. Taki's already has his as well, so shard-wise, I assume you do give it over to the Rubik?
Yep. Yeah. They went for a smoke, but they were just a little bit too late. They're still coming out of the map. Look at the scan. They know the enemies cannot fight in the base. They have to fight here. It's very easy for Team Spirit right now. You send in Yatoro, you force them to come back, and they're gonna come to the low ground. That's where they lose.
Yeah, you can see Pantonem, who's already got that Glimmer Cape, trying to get the dive in the backline. So Ainkrad team's got that BKB going. They're going to be able to get the kill onto the Rubik. The Rubik's down, Gem is on the deck. What can they do though? I mean, Mira's going to take a lot of damage down, but no, never mind. He gets off the tail, the wall gets dropped, but look at this. The jump in and the Morphling, you're just going to be able to get everyone dragged back with the Vortex. Stealing that Storm Spirit from Munkushi, the BKB form, but the right this time coming through from Yatoro. Even inside the Wukong's command, the Monkey King just has to TP himself away. And the only survivor from that fight as Team Spirit just clean up. The GE comes out and Collapse going to celebrate there with the BKB, and nothing that one move could do after that final fight.
I really like the move coming out from one move there at the end. You have nothing else to do. The thing is, the Team Spirit are a good enough team. They were focused enough not to get caught off guard by